Hello everyone and welcome to a bit of a surprise stream on a Friday. I don't usually do that. I don't usually stream streams, but for today I'm gonna make an exception. We're gonna do streamception for today. We're gonna look at Frontier. They're gonna do their highlight stream and they're gonna do gameplay. So I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do, and we're getting a little bit of a head start. We're 15 minutes ahead of them, but you know, we can get into the proper mindset, into the proper hype, and we can talk a little bit in the chat beforehand. I will probably be rattling throughout Frontier a little bit as well. Welcome everyone. I see that a lot of people are here. Thank you so much for joining me. That's really, really cool. I know I don't usually do this, but it was just the best way to cover this live stream right now. Leviathan is, I think, the only moderator in the chat right now. I'm keeping an eye out myself as well, since I'm not in the game currently, of course. So please be nice to us. Please don't spam and do stuff like that. But yeah, welcome. I see FC Teddy, Freddy, Antron. Oh my god, the chat is going way too fast. Stephanie, Walter. Oh my god. Jesus. Whoa! Whoa! What the? Wow, Swishy! Wow! Thank you so much for that super chat. That is incredible. Thank you so much. I've never had a super chat like that. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's show some love for Swishy right there. Thank you, mate. Oh god. Oh, the chat is going so fast. I don't know if slow mode needs to be a thing. Let's hope not. Let's try to do it like this. But it is a little bit more difficult for me to read the chat. I'm realizing. People are going crazy right now. Oh my god. Everyone start chanting. No, let's chant Swishy. Thanks so much for being here. As you can see, we're just playing the trailer in the background right now. We're waiting for Frontier to start their stream. We have about 13 minutes left. Chat is exploding, says Lanky. It is indeed exploding. Thank you so much, Gaming Beaver fan. I am also a Gaming Beaver fan. Carno equals push. 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 It is a very cool animation. I do hope, of course, as I said in my video, that we're gonna see more of it. But it is a very cool animation. They're impressing me with their like attention to detail right now. Oh, the Temperate Forest was in the UK, Stephanie? Oh, I didn't even see the location. The chat is going very fast, Majongosaurus. I'm pausing it as often as I can to read the comments. Tipo says, I like goats. I think we all like goats. I think if you're a Jurassic World Evolution fan, then by definition, you're a goat fan. You know, goats are the greatest of all time. It literally spells that out. It's incredible. Pogus of Eagle says, speedy chat. It is very speedy. Keine Creativiteit says, I love how Carno just throws itself over the para. I hope carnivores can fail when hunt. That would be awesome. We do know that sometimes, yes, they can fail. Oh, I see, hold on. I see someone asking for slow mode. Let's see if I can figure that out. I don't know what that is either. You'd think they'd make it very easy, but they don't. They don't. What is everyone's favorite dinosaur so far that they've revealed? No, not slow mode! There's a very big chance I won't be able to find it. I don't see it. Triceratops, Carno, Stego. I do love me a Stego. I do love me a Stego, but I kind of fell in love with that Pachyrhinosaurus as soon as I saw it. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Velociraptor, Baryonyx. Baryonyx is looking really great. I'm looking for slow mode in the meantime, guys, but it's not looking great. Insert ad. No, let's not add any ads, okay? We don't need no ads. Thank you very much. This chat must go faster. Must go faster. That's very funny. What is the purpose of the stream? I'm sorry, I missed your name, but I did catch your question. Frontier is just gonna do their monthly highlight stream, and as we know, there are a lot of highlights, but they also sneak in some new information always, so we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for that. And either before that or after that, they're also going to be showing gameplay. And that's very exciting, I think. Am I seriously gonna have to Google how to put on slow-mo? I am a professional. I think that is indeed gonna be the case. Oh, here you go. I found it. In case of emergency, I found it. Ah, Pope Omar Sisto is with us. Thank you very much. Good lord, thank you. You owe me a couple of dissertation pages. Oh, I thought my function was more like to distract, you know? And be awkward, I think. Evo is professional stream. Yeah. It does seem like chat is slowing down a little bit, so I want to try to hold off on slow mode, because I know people aren't a fan of that. So I only want to use it in case of emergency. Gaming View fan says, I can't believe Ian Malcolm was scared of the ichthyosaurus. Yeah, he's talking about the barracuda, like... he would not last very long in the Mesozoic seas. Blonde Gibbon, I'm honored to be in that holy trinity. I think maybe we should go for the holy quartet and include the Gaming Beaver. Checking the time, we have 8 minutes left. What exotic dinosaur do I like the most? I don't know, what would you qualify as exotic? For, you know, the most often asked question usually is just which dinosaur I want to see added. I want Therizinosaurus concavenator. That's just a no-brainer for me. I want those two. I am going to experimentally engage slow mode, guys, because otherwise I'm missing so much of you guys' comments, and that's not fair either. So we're gonna try it a bit, okay? See if this works. Might not even work. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. It's an experiment. Exciting times. It's almost like I'm a professional streamer, but then not. Lobomonos, thank you so much for your super chat. Thanks, mate. Gold in the chat. Super hyped to play Jurassic World Evolution 2. Thanks for the content. Thank you so much for the support. That means a lot. It really does. I'm so happy you're enjoying the content. I hope other people are enjoying the content as well. I know there's a lot of it. There's a lot. But yeah, Frontier is really giving us the good stuff. I'm waiting for them to go live. Hold on, let me check if they've posted anything on Twitter yet. The bowels of the interweb. I know how to find them. There you go. They usually start like right on time. They don't do like a pre-stream, something like that. General Joseph D, is Suchomimus in the game? I'd assume so, but it hasn't officially been confirmed yet, but I would assume so. The Pink Hand is watching from Australia. Hey, greetings to Down Under. Wow, what time must it be for you? Shush, hey, Evo Square, do you think we will get gene research like feathers or bioluminescence, or is that too far for Frontier? I have hope that we're going to get feathers. I have hope. I have faith. Bioluminescence? Probably not, since that within the franchise is limited to Camp Cretaceous. And they did already confirm that no Camp Cretaceous content is planned. Maybe like in 2 years, when the series has finished, they'll throw us a Camp Cretaceous DLC. I'm not ruling that out. But I don't see bioluminescence happening in the near future, and I think we should consider ourselves very lucky if we get feathers. I think that's just what we should keep our fingers crossed for. Travis Lewis, I wonder what Frontier is going to talk about. I do as well. Honestly, there are so many highlights from the past month that they can't really they can't really cover everything. So I wonder what kind of things they're gonna cherry pick to talk about, and what kind of new stuff they're gonna sneak in here. Slow mode is on, guys. I see some people asking, is it really on? Yes, it is on, but I did set it to only 30 seconds because I don't want to agitate people. I want people to be able to express themselves. Unless they express themselves too much, then we need to up the amount of seconds. How long until it starts? They should start in about 4 minutes, Fabian. Do you think there will be other hunting animations for the Cardo? I really, really hope so. But in terms of animations, I want to be cautious when it comes to the amount of animations. We know we're getting like up to 80 dinosaurs in the game. So it would be very much, it would be a lot of work for them to give multiple animations for each species. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I'm not sure. Jed Wiggins asks, how was my day? My day was okay. Went to work this morning, got soaking wet riding home afterwards, because it was raining. Like, seriously, down to my underwear. It was not pleasant. But other than that, I'm having a good day. How's your day going? How's everyone's day going? 3 minutes, guys, 3 minutes. I'm keeping my eye on the clock, keeping my eyeballs on the game. Don't worry. Rain! Look at the dinos cuddling. Yes, the social interactions in that trailer are great. Really, really, really great. Julian VQ, I thought he was in it, but I've since been told that it's a joke, it's an edit. I'm not sure. I didn't see it in the video itself. Like I said, I didn't watch Best in Slots and the Gaming Beavers. Bieber? I'm so sorry, Beaver. I didn't watch their videos in full, so I didn't see it happen, so I'm not really sure. We are almost at 1K viewers. That is insane. That is the most I've ever gotten. So that is the power of Jurassic World Evolution 2. I think we can all agree on that. Donald Donahue says it's an edit for sure. I am so disappointed. I would have loved it so much. I would have loved it. I mean, just imagine hiring the beaver to make you your Mosasaurus. It would have been so funny. Just some guy with sunglasses. I was wondering, could a dinosaur like T-Rex break a lagoon fence? Could a Mosasaurus then attack a dinosaur? It would be interesting. We haven't seen any of that yet. We haven't seen any interaction between marine and land creatures. Let's use creatures as the safe word. Hey, Bancrafter HD, thank you so much for the super chat. Greetings from Austria. Greetings back from the Netherlands. Is no one else doing a live stream? Wow, seriously, the one day I decide to, no one else is? I'm all alone. I wish there are Elasmosaurus. I think since the Plesio is already in, they probably won't go for Elasmo. Although, you know, who knows? I was also surprised they did both Plesiosaurus and Adamborosaurus, so what do I know? Nothing. The only thing I knew was the release date. I called that one. Well, sort of. It was my second choice. There is definitely a JWE thing going on. It's on their Twitter, the announcement. The 27th of August. And it should be starting nearly. But Drew Tafo is here from Brazil. Hello. Majongasaurus Production says, good gosh, I'm so excited for Jurassic World Evolution 2, especially with the Jurassic Park San Diego Park. Yes. Yes, very much so. Alright, I'm gonna be hitting the refresh a lot now. Oh, it's not on YouTube, it's on Twitch. Hold on. Hold on, folks. There you go. was checking YouTube, but they're going on Twitch. Didn't they stream the last one on YouTube as well? Don't they usually do both? Are we getting like some sort of Twitch supremacy going on over here? Come on, don't neglect YouTube. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's starting, sort of. There, let's open it up. Hold on a second, folks. Oh my god. We still have 4 minutes to go. Damn you! Alright, let me turn this stuff off. There you go. And that one. Jesus, where are you? There you go. There you go. Ooh, the quality is rough on this one. I hope that it improves soon. Let me check. Hold on. Quality automatic. Come on, then. There, that's better. We have 4 more minutes to kill, guys. 4 more minutes. What would you think of crocs en big turtles in de game? Hey, vliegende tuinstoel, hallo! Ik denk dat jij Nederlands bent. I'd love to see Deinosuchus. Oh, that would be so cool. And Archelon or Archelon? I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that's classic Evo. I would love that. Love that so much. Caleb Richards says hi from Canada. Hello from across the big pond. Oh, it is on YouTube as well. Well, we're on Twitch right now. It doesn't really matter. Let me know if the volume is good, guys. Thank you so much, Rand. That is an honor. Thanks. Spooky 19, are you the JP version of the Lady Signer? I wish I could build as well as the Lady Signer. She does awesome stuff in Planet Zoo. Incredible. Please listen to the moderators, guys. No spamming, no caps. They're gonna mute you. Be nice. Barbie bakes cakes. I don't think we're gonna see woolly mammoths in this game. I don't think so. Udamus HD. It is currently 3 p.m. in the Netherlands. Oh my god, someone is texting me. Leave me alone, I'm trying to hype. What language do I think in? It switches. I'm keeping it exciting up in here. Thank you, Tricky the Clown. You too. Have a good day. The volume is a bit on the lower side. We'll crank it up when they get started. I'm assuming my audio is pretty high because I'm going into yellow, sometimes even into red, so my audio should be okay. This one is, yeah, kind of low. Thanks so much, Kenza. Thanks for the support. Almost, guys. Just a little over a minute. Hallo, mede Nederlander, Shadow Chaser. Well, one rabbit is sleeping. I'm excited. I really wonder what they're gonna say. Be prepared though, it is probably going to start with like the highlights portion. So they are going to be repeating a lot of the stuff we've already seen. Keep that in mind. What is my favorite aquatic reptile revealed so far? I mean, I gotta go with the obvious choice. It's still the Mosasaurus, but all right, let's just disregard that one just because we knew it would be in the game. Then I'd agree. I would say Attenboroughsaurus because I just love the little nod to David and Richard, and I think it just looks really cool. How long is this going to be? I think it's going to be 2 hours. I don't know what that sound was. I know it was me, but... Alright. Getting another look at this beautiful trailer. Oh! I agree, Magical Pig.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jurassic World.
Hello and welcome everybody to our Jurassic World Evolution 2 live stream today. My name is Tim Smith and I am the lead community manager here at Frontier Developments, and I'm very excited to be your host as we talk about all things.
We're switching over to YouTube. The quality is a little bit better here.
We talk about
There you go.
all things Jurassic World Evolution 2. So today we
Is it
have
better
got
though?
our
Not really.
August monthly highlight stream. So we will, of course, have some very special guests on to talk to you. And we'll also, as I know a lot of you have been asking for it and are very excited, we're going to have a little bit of live gameplay later on in the stream as well. So
Yeah,
hang
later
around,
on, guys, later
enjoy
on.
the show. We're going to chat with some incredible people. And don't forget, as you saw in that trailer, you can now pre-order Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's coming out on November 9th. And there's even a deluxe edition as well with some pretty amazing stuff in there. So, to start off our stream, as we always say, I won't be doing this alone. So I would love to introduce you to our first guest. So,
Who is it?
without further ado,
Oh!
Amy, welcome to the stream.
I was
How are you
expecting
doing
Rich.
today?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, excited.
Very exciting.
Very excited.
What do you think of the streaming studio as well?
Lovely.
Do you like our
We're
new
in real life. That's
addition?
Ooh, I like that.
Down there.
Yeah, I love that. It's like he's in the room or he's out the window, one of the two.
Yeah, she's
We're in a
swimming by.
submarine,
It's,
maybe.
it's pretty great. So
That's
Amy,
not
you
Jeff
are the
Goldblum.
lead animator.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Well, I help to guide the animators in creating
Is the
really
audio
awesome
still
and
low? Hold
believable
on.
animation. Really, make really cool dinosaurs, basically.
Fantastic. And I can imagine that's, of course, it's not just alone as well, it's with a big team.
Yes, there's quite a few of us.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do on your own, that's for
Well,
sure.
no, I can imagine. I mean, dinosaurs don't appear overnight, right?
There's a lot of them.
Dana
too.
Manchester,
There's a
thank
lot
you
of them.
so
I mean,
much.
speaking
That is
of
an
all of
awesome
these
gift.
dinosaurs,
Thank
is,
you. Thank you
Are
very
dinosaurs something
much.
that you've been interested in growing up, or is it a love that you found after you arrived at Frontier?
No, I was always interested in dinosaurs. I remember having lots of dinosaur toys, and I think I ended up seeing Jurassic Park 3 first. So I remember
That was
having
your first one?
Yeah,
the
it was the
third
first one I saw, the third
Okay.
one. I remember really loving the Spinosaurus.
Go
for a
watch
long
Beaver
time.
then, Erica.
And,
What are you
I'm
doing
guessing
here?
The love for the other films came shortly after seeing the third one as well?
Oh yes, yes. The first one
Amazing.
is great. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Can't beat the original.
Sorry?
You can't beat the
You
original.
can't beat
film,
the
no.
original. No, that's absolutely true. And you said one of your favorites was the Spinosaurus in the films, but out of the dinosaurs and reptiles that we've seen so far, would you say there's any that are your favorite on there as well?
So far, I think the Dimorphodon is my favourite. It's like a little flying guy.
Yeah,
It's kind of adorable too.
it's a
Interesting
very
choice.
cute little flying gargoyle.
Yeah.
That is very, very true. And what do you reckon would be the most exciting part of Jurassic World Evolution 2 that everybody at home can look forward to?
Well, I can't wait really for everyone just to see all the animations. I mean, we've got exciting new things to show off, and it's just something I'm really looking forward to seeing. See
Yeah,
how
I can
everyone
imagine
reacts
it's
to it.
something that like you and everybody else are super proud to see out there, and everybody who's been watching the pre-order trailer and everything from the other information this week and the species field guides, they've all been so excited to see all of these different things of the animations. You've got like the rolling
Yes.
and
Oh goodness, yes. I love the fact we've got resting and the social interactions they do. It's like it's just adding extra character and something else for them to do. Show off the fact that they're more like animals than the big movie monsters they're always depicted as. In
I
films.
want that
Yeah, of
screen
course.
Show, like,
with the
other side
Mosa.
of the coin.
it's incredible. I mean, I love watching over and over again all of the species field guides and seeing all these different things that they can do, and it's been amazing watching everything that's been on YouTube recently as well.
Oh, yes, yes.
Seeing how all of the dinosaurs behave and all the incredible animations that are in there. Well, I reckon we can probably have a little bit of a look at the Dimorphodon, right?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, for those at home, you can see we have species field guide playing.
It's a little loud.
The Dimorphodon, a member of the pterosaur family.
There's your, your favorite.
It is a fairly poor flyer, mainly due to its shorter wingspan.
Oh,
It
there you go.
relies
Pretty,
on
actually.
frantic short
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
flights.
with pretty. They look incredible.
They've
I
got
love
bright
the,
eyes and little fluffy
the little
eyebrows.
the
It's great.
shimmy that they do at the end there as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What would you say would be one of the more exciting parts that you've had with approaching this? Because of course
The Dimorphodon, a
there's
member
lot
of the
changes,
pterosaur family.
and there's a lot of new things that are going to be in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So with the Dimorphodon, that's your favorite.
Yes.
What do you
There we
reckon?
go.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
been
turn
a
it.
lovely
It
job
was very
animating
loud.
it. It's got really lovely wing beats. We've got a whole system with different types of flying which blends together to create this wonderful, wonderful trajectory through the air. I really, really love them when they sit on the feeders and they eat the fish.
Yeah.
Because they've got it's beautiful animation where she just picks up a fish and she's got it in her mouth and it's flapping away and she's just sat there holding it. It's adorable. I love it.
Just sat
No,
there with
I
the
wanna
fish
see
at the
that.
feeders.
Yeah.
We're just going to double check our mic levels. Are they all looking good? Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty incredible when they're there, having that little bit of a mealtime. Do you reckon there was any part that was a little bit more of a challenge to approach with animating for flying? Because of course, it all looks pretty incredible.
You're right,
I can imagine
Armando.
that is, like with the hugely skilled team you have, making that happen.
Yeah, obviously most dinosaurs walk around on the land, but of course the flying reptile here flies in 3 dimensions. So I know there was a lot of hard work gone into making sure that they could climb and dive
Yeah.
realistically without looking mad. So yeah, that was really interesting. And
Yeah.
of course you see a long flowing tail as well. I think most of that's dynamic.
Right.
There's a lot of tech put in to make sure that it's sat on the ground. Because like they can perch on certain things as well, and so her tail will hang down in those situations, and then on the ground obviously it's flat. So
Yes.
that was some pretty handy tech going in for that.
It's a lot of hard work gone into making sure those small details, like you said, with the hanging tail, that's all in line.
Yeah.
No, that makes
Yeah.
that makes complete sense. I know one thing that the community have, of course, picked up on, and I've seen a couple of clips running around, is when the flying reptiles managed to escape. So, do you reckon you could tell us a little bit more insight for that one?
Yeah,
Please
I mean
do.
they'll break out, and of course breaking through a big glass dome it's quite a hard thing to do. So they tend to, after breaking out and terrorising your guests a few times, like pinning them to the ground, it's great, it's beautiful.
It's great.
You might find them resting on nearby.
It's not great for the guests.
No, they'll be
Great
having
to
a bad
watch,
day.
but maybe not great for your guests if you want them to be happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty
It's a
sure.
good
A lot of
disclaimer,
my
right?
guests
That is
are
good.
gonna
It's a good
die.
disclaimer.
Yeah.
A
I mean,
lot.
if you want carnage, then go for it, right?
I mean, I guess if you're enthusiast after the films and that's the kind of thing that you want to see
If you want
happen
to
in your
reenact
park,
the film, then yeah, right?
that's very true. You're going to send them down Main Street.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so they'll perch on like lampposts and nearby buildings and stuff, get their breath back before they go around for another sweep again.
Just come back for another go. Didn't get them the first time. Maybe go for them the second time.
They might even go off into your other enclosures. and
Sarcastically
cause
inspired.
havoc with some
Let
of
them
the
perish.
residents there as well.
Residents.
Yeah, the residents.
The residents. I like that idea. The residents will build little residential areas.
Yeah, they're homes,
for-
right?
I mean, that's true. They are homes for the dinosaurs and reptiles.
And reptiles.
And
yes.
reptiles,
Yes.
of course. Let's have a little quick look. There's so many of you in the chat. It's incredible. I've been trying to keep up with some of the things in here, but I can see an awful lot of excitement.
Guest feeders.
Thank you very much for that. I'll try and pull bits out of there, but with quite a few of you, it goes quite quickly for us. So, we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can, right? So, I think we could maybe have a look at the next species field guide then, and have a little chat about that one. And that one is another one of our flying friends, our flying reptiles, and that would be the pteranodon. Yes, it is the pteranodon.
It's the pteranodon.
Well, I said it with confidence, and that's what matters, right? So I actually know that this is another one of your favorites, alongside the Dimorphodon. Is there any sort of interesting tidbits that you'd want to share about our friend the pteranodon there? Looking pretty incredible.
Well, she's much, much larger, so she flies with far more weight, and because she's so much bigger,
Yeah.
like you don't want to mix them together, right? I mean, carnage would happen.
Well, I mean, you're a fan
Maybe,
of carnage.
maybe
I
I
am
want
a
that.
fan.
You're a fan of carnage.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do play the game nice, I like to build little houses and habitats and stuff, but I do know there are some people out there who just love the thrills and stuff like that.
Of course. I mean, you have
And
your
they are
thrill
really,
seekers.
they are really fun to animate too, I'll be
Yeah?
honest, it's fun.
So
It's
what
good
parts,
fun.
do you want to talk a little bit more about the fun of animating the pteranodons?
Yes, well I got my hands on the pteranodon for a bit. I managed to animate her eating a goat. Which is,
A goat?
Yes, a goat.
A pteranodon
Yes.
eating a goat.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've got to hear more about that. It sounds amazing.
It was really fun. We were looking at reference of eagles hunting foxes,
Right.
just because you have to try and get like the trajectories, they come down, and then the forces, the impact on the goat, and it was fun. It
I
was
thought
a
they'd
really
only
fun
eat
challenge.
fish.
And I can't
Interesting.
wait for everyone to see it.
That's incredible. I mean, I feel like in the chat, if you want to hear a little bit more about the pteranodon and the goat, if you just type goat, I'll be able to see that. And we can talk a little bit more about the pteranodon and the goat for sure. But we'll see. We'll see if that comes up in the chat here. Whilst at least one person saying goat there.
Come on, guys. Show, don't
so
tell.
we've got the Dimorphodon.
Yes.
We've got the pteranodon.
Yes.
Do you have a little bit more that you'd be able to share about what happens if these things in the sky end up in the same place?
Yeah, well, one of them is very much not as titanic as the other.
Right.
If you put them together, Dimorphodon, you've seen it in the film as well, Dimorphodon is quite a bit smaller than the pteranodon.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they don't get on.
They don't get on.
I'm pretty sure they don't get on.
Okay.
Yes, I think there might be some trouble if you put them together.
All right. You could always distract them with a goat.
Yeah, goats would probably keep them happy. I don't know
So-
if Dimorphodon might be unhappy, but the pteranodons would be fine with the goats, yeah.
Well, speaking of, let's talk a little bit more about the pteranodon.
That is a cool
taking on the
tidbit,
goat.
guys.
You said that was a lot of fun, and
That
you
they
had
eat
the
the
references
goats.
with the eagles. It will be really great to hear a bit more about that. Chat did respond. Thank you very much. They would love to hear more about the pteranodon and the goat. Absolutely.
Yes, I watched, because I remember I was looking at loads of reference of eagles hunting foxes, because you got some amazing stuff out
Yeah.
there. And I think eventually I settled on, it might have been a rabbit in the end, if I remember correctly.
No
where this
rabbits.
eagle just comes right down, grabs hold of the rabbit, and I think, it might have been a fox. That's not important. The point is, it was a small fluffy animal, right?
Sure.
And the eagle ended up
A fox, a rabbit, a
Rolling
goat. I
basically
don't
over
know.
and it lifted it right over the top, and I was like, I need to
They
get
all
some
look
of
the
that
same
in
to
this. So rather than do just a simple animation, I decided to go all out and had proper fun with it. have this whole rolling mechanic going on. It's great.
That's amazing.
It really, would probably be better to see it than have me describe it to you.
I mean, everybody, of course, on November 9th, when Jurassic World Evolution 2 is available, will be able to set up some aviaries and have some pteranodons around and get a few goats on the park.
Yep.
And of course, you'll be able to play around with this for yourself and see all of the incredible work that Amy and the rest of the animation team have done to really bring this all to life for you. So I think there's, of course, there's a much wider team that you work with as well. So
Yes.
just to go back to a little bit more about your role as the lead animator. So that involves not only getting hands-on and, for example, helping for finding this stuff, it also involves research for finding good references. I imagine it involves taking ideas from the rest of the team,
Oh yes.
putting it all together, helping everybody do the best that they can do, right?
Oh yeah. It's really creative. Like you can give someone a task for like a specific social, and I'll have something in my head that they might do.
Right.
But otherwise, they can go away. They can look at reference. They can like surround themselves. With
Oh, I'd
big-
love that,
big
Faithen.
animals, like even cows and horses and
It's
stuff.
cruel,
Just-
though.
Just anything on 4 legs or birds, depending on what your dinosaur is.
Or
And then-
reptile.
Or reptile.
Yep.
And then they can kind of rough it out and then try and visualize it, and then I can just help guide them towards that, just to make it more believable and weight and
Yeah,
such.
of course.
Keep the character in there as well. So you're going to see dinosaurs and reptiles
And
doing,
reptiles.
doing things you wouldn't have normally seen.
Be careful, guys.
Incredible. So we know if we don't say the and reptiles part, somebody, and I'm going to bet it's somebody from the Discord, is going to be pinging away, telling me you missed it. So we see you. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think let's have a look at the pre-order trailer again in a moment. And for now, I'm going to say thank you very much, Amy, for joining us
You're
and
very
telling us
welcome.
about your role and for talking about the Dimorphodon and the Pteranodon with us as well. And we're now going to switch over to our next guest. But while we do that, we can enjoy the pre-order trailer again. So here it is for you.
Right. I'm gonna turn the volume down on this. We've seen this a lot at this point, so we can talk a little bit. I do really love that the Pteranodon can apparently eat goats. I kind of assumed they would also just be purely fish feeder based. Fish feeder based? Yeah, sure. Let's go with that one. So I'm very excited that we're actually going to get some goat hunting mechanics for the Pteranodon. That's gonna be pretty cool. John Graham Doe says, really milking the pre-order trailer, aren't they? It's a really great trailer, though. I have to say, it's a really great trailer. I don't know, Dragon Animations. I don't know. I think they're... maybe just the rating is gonna go down. They can't really escape or anything. I love that pseudo animation. It's so cute. They are proud of their work, and they have every right to be. I think they're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, sweetie. You're doing great.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I don't expect to see any gore sarcastically inspired. I mean, we saw the Mosa eat half a shark, and I think there's literally 0 blood. I'm guessing they won't eat the whole goat, Cole Parish. They probably, like, pull steaks out of it the same way they, the carnivores do with the meat feeders. That's my guess. Ah, here we go.
And we are back. I hope you all enjoyed the trailer. I know I did. I love the arena at the end of that. It's so very, very cool.
It is.
However, we now have our next incredible guest here. Thank you for joining the stream, Andy Scott. How are you doing today?
Hi, really good, thanks. Really excited to be here. Excited for everyone to play the game when we're going to release.
A lot of new people, new guests this time
What did you
around.
think of the trailer, the pre-order trailer that we showed everybody
It
just
looks,
now?
It looks great, doesn't it? I think it really shows off the game really well, and hopefully gets everyone excited as much as we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I love the arena at the end, and you've got the T-Rex just owning that space. It's absolutely incredible. So let's maybe start off with who you are at Frontier and what you do here. So your title is the head of gameplay. So could you tell me a little bit more about what it is you do here at Frontier, but also, of course, what you do on Jurassic World Evolution 2?
Yes, of course. As head of gameplay, I help.
No?
recruit
His audio
gameplay
is
programmers.
low.
Sorry, one moment. We're just going to check the mic levels. So if you could
There you go.
move your microphone up a little bit.
Oh, it is working.
that?
How's that one now? No? How about now? No?
I relate to this so much.
Sorry, everyone.
You all know
Small
that.
technical difficulty. We want to make sure that you can hear Andy as well as you can hear me. I think we're just going to go to a very quick back soon, and we're going to fix the microphone, and then we'll be right back with you.
Yeah. Oh, this is awkward. This is awkward. Oh no, my anxiety can't handle this. Oh, thank God. he does look very serious. He is a serious man. They're having some audio difficulty, and like I said, I relate to that so much. I mean, when do I not? Play the trailer again. Oh man, this sort of stuff just happens. You can't plan for this. This is not some. It's just bad luck. That's what this is. Luckily in our line of work, bad luck means bad audio. It doesn't mean death. Hokey Engineer, I'm not impressed with the path. It does indeed look to be exactly the same as we have currently. I was hoping for bridges. I'm losing hope for that. Losing hope. Dark times. Oh, I relate James Osland. I relate so much. Hussein Foss says his eyes read, "Kill me now." I mean, we all have moments like that, right? They're just the worst. They're so bad. It's not going smoothly, but at least it's going. I like that attitude, Lobomonos. That's a can-do attitude. Oh.
Welcome back.
you
So
go.
we're going to test that this is working. I am hoping that you can all hear me. And Andy, let's try again.
Hi. is it
Welcome to the
working?
stream.
Hi, thank you.
We all
everything
good?
okay?
I think we're good.
Okay, great.
There we go. So, I mean,
Oh God.
as
what's
the
happening?
saying goes, anything can happen on live television.
God.
This time it was a microphone, but we carry on. So, everyone in the chat is
It's not
now,
going
there's
well.
lots of yay, yes it's working, dinosaur emojis.
Oh,
so,
Jesus Christ.
Andy Scott, head of gameplay.
Yes.
Welcome to the
Gameplay.
stream.
That's not me, guys.
Let's
That's
talk
them.
about what you do here at Frontier and on Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Of course, yes. So, as head of gameplay, I help recruit new gameplay programmers.
Okay, I think we're good.
I line manage some lead gameplay programmers on other projects, and I'm very happy to say I've been hands-on on the dinosaur behaviors on Jurassic World Evolution 2, in particular the dynamic hunting and fighting behaviors.
Incredible. So I know for a fact, because I've been asked directly many times for more information about that. So that's going to be a treat for all of you. In a little bit, we'll probably talk a little bit more about those dynamic systems as well, because we've got the man himself, the exact person to talk to for this. So that's going to be really exciting. But I think what would be really great, now that we've...
Jesus Christ, guys. Come on. Oh, I'm scared to turn the volume back on. I'm so sorry about that. It's not me, though. I'm sorry. We're all suffering the same, guys.
I think we've still got an issue with your mic, so perhaps...
I
we can
think
just
it's
hold it
your
back.
mic, dude. I think
not
it's
ideal.
yours. Because it's messing
that
up when
sound,
you talk.
everyone?
No,
Is that
no,
okay?
no.
So I can talk a little bit more.
I'm scared.
I think if we'll just talk a little bit, and we'll talk about dinosaurs, and we'll try with the microphone and see how it's doing. Still no good? Okay.
It sounds like we're in a freaking horror movie. This is what the ring sounds like.
I will do a lot of talking, and you can sort of support me on that one, I think is how we'll have to go forward for this section, unfortunately. Okay. But it's all right. We'll fix.
I'm keeping my cursor on the volume, okay? I'm ready for
keep
another
my one,
accident.
and we'll sort of head forward that way. So, luckily, I know a certain amount about what you do, and you can help me with certain further details. So, someone's saying unplug and plug back in. We gave that one a go when we went to the back soon screen, but unfortunately this microphone doesn't want to play ball today. But that's all right. So what we'll do is double check the notes and then we'll carry on. So we're talking about whether you were a dinosaur fan yourself, and I think the answer's got to be yes, while being here, right?
Absolutely. I can always remember my friend when I was very young having this sticker book and stick down
Indeed, Artie Sausage Dog.
Yes.
And unpeel them, and that was really great to kind of play with.
Amazing. So one of the key things, what I'm going to try is moving over. We're going to share a microphone.
Honestly, I kind of love the awkwardness.
All right.
Let's try this. Chat, can you hear Andy Scott?
Hello.
How's that?
Can you hear me?
Can we hear Andy? How's it sounding? Yep.
Thanks so much for the super chat, Pluto. Thanks.
Go back and forth with my microphone, and it's going to be great. So you were telling us about with sticker books as a kid.
Yeah, one of my earliest memories is a friend having this book where you could stick down and unpeel dinosaurs and put them in different scenes, and I was
think
very
we're
jealous
good.
of that I didn't have it myself.
Right. I remember for when I was a kid as well, it wasn't always things like Jurassic Park. My parents got me this custom book where I was the protagonist, and you crack open an egg, and then a pterodactyl came out and took me on an adventure, and it was incredible. So I completely get having those like younger things that come into what you're doing. It's great fun. It was great. It was such a good book. So, as
This is
we
so
have now
wholesome.
got this solution, with the volume, is the volume okay? Well, we'll be fine. I think you guys can hear Andy. So let's have a look at our first species field guide together, which is the Chianchosaurus. Quite tricky to pronounce, but we're getting there. We gave it a lot of practice, I think. So what are your thoughts on the Chianchosaurus?
Yeah, it's great to see one of the lesser known dinosaurs. It looks incredible. I think it's got incredible eyebrows. It's really quite memorable.
Incredible eyebrows.
Yeah, it's great to see. And of course, it's only recently been discovered in 2010. So I think a lot of people haven't heard of it and be quite excited to see it for the first time.
Yeah, that's exactly the
They're on
reaction we got
technical
from all of you
Jurassic
at home.
difficulty.
We put out the species field guide, and we thought that this would be a popular dinosaur, but we were blown away by just how much everybody loved seeing this new one. Because as you mentioned, 2010, that's really recent. And I think this discovery as well changed how we have to categorize certain species as well because of the longer snout. So we've got all of those different bits and pieces, and now, of course, we can bring it to life in Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is pretty incredible.
It is, absolutely. It's incredible that we're still discovering dinosaurs, and great that we can add them to our game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think let's go for talking about the next thing that I know everyone was excited to hear more about. And as we have got Andy Scott, the man himself, let's talk a little bit more about the dynamic behaviors that you
Yes.
mentioned earlier.
Yes, so pack hunting is a new thing.
Right.
So for me, this really comes back to Jurassic Park, the film. You've got that classic scene where multiple velociraptors are attacking a T-Rex, and the T-Rex can launch the velociraptor across the room. And this really got us thinking, how many velociraptors will it take to take down a T-Rex?
A little bit like how many people with a light bulb, but the dinosaur edition.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say that we can answer that question when you play Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Amazing. And could you tell us a little bit more about, because of course these new dynamic behaviors are new in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So I can imagine that there's been an awful lot of work from yourself and from the whole team at Frontier that's gone into that, and with all the different systems, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of challenges that we had to overcome. For example, when the T-Rex throws a velociraptor, what happens is it becomes a physical object, a ragdoll object. It can hit the ground, come to a halt. It doesn't mean it's dead. It can actually end up in any number of poses, get itself back up, run back into the fight. During this time, 2 or 3 other raptors can be attacking the T-Rex. The T-Rex is doing its best to fend them off.
That sounds so cool.
So you've got an awful lot of things going on that each of the dinosaurs needs to deal with whilst facing all of these other dinosaurs, which is incredible.
Absolutely. It's incredibly dynamic. Every time you see a fight play out, you might well see something new.
I think that's one thing that the community has picked up from different pieces of footage, is seeing these dinosaurs going to attack something and missing. And the fact that they can miss and you see them sort of charge off and something manages to survive and run for its life were all these little moments that have been getting shared on Reddit and with us on social media and things like that, where you see this in action, that it's not just a surefire thing, it's dynamic. You're going to see all of these things play out, and will they survive or will they not? And it's amazing how excited you can be to see that kind of thing going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a new responsive dynamic hunting system as part of this. So the locomotion and navigation tech that we've done for this game will allow the predator to respond instantly. And it's always been important for us to respect the animator's work. It needs to look good, it needs to look right, it needs to blend at the right time. So the prey can respond immediately and still kind of play the animations correctly. What happens then is the predator will do its best to catch up to the prey. What's going on in the background here is we've got a new stamina system. So if the prey has a greater amount of stamina, it can get away. But
Oh, that's cool.
Up, you'll see some incredibly realistic and very brutal animations.
And I think the brutal animations, we met Amy earlier. We know that she and her team, they're very much into the carnage and making sure that that's in there as well.
Yeah, Amy looks really friendly, doesn't she? But she can do a really brutal animation.
It's, I mean, you've just got to be careful. Sometimes these is incredible things that people can do, and they've got these incredible things that they want you to see in the game. And I know that everybody at home as well, massively appreciates all the effort that goes in on that side. And I can say without a doubt that they absolutely appreciate all the work that you do and all the work that the teams do as well, adding these different sides to the gameplay and all of these dynamic movements as well. It's incredible.
We have an incredible team working with this. I'm very much part of a team that's. So I work on the coding side, but there's a lot of collaboration with other teams, with animation, of course, with design across the entire board. It's a big collaborative effort.
I mean, absolutely. As with any game of this size, and even on our side in communications, there's always an incredible team helping pave the way for everything that you see coming. And everything that happens. It's incredible. So I'm just going to give our notes a real quick check, because of course we need to spend a little bit of time sorting the microphones out soon. I think what we can do is, we like the pre-order trailer. Maybe we're going to show you the pre-order trailer one more time while we try and fix some of these microphones ready for our next guest. But before we do, I just want to say thank you very much to Andy for coming on the stream today, sharing a little bit more information about all of these incredible systems, and generally just making the game fantastic. So unless there's anything further you'd like to say to everyone at home?
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we're going to pop on the pre-order trailer one more time for you all, do a little bit of technical things in the background, and then we'll be back with another guest for you to meet. So see you in a moment.
Oh God, they are struggling. I feel bad for them, honestly. Hold on, let's not mute it entirely. Yeah, I wish I could have turned up the volume for that guy specifically, but the guy with the red shirt, sorry, I forgot his name, he was very loud in comparison, so I couldn't balance that. So we're just gonna get another pre-order break. They are getting good use out of this trailer, so thank God that it's good. You know, it's good. I am very excited to see, you know, speaking of those dynamic animations, dynamic hunting, I can't wait to see a pack of raptors try to take down a T-Rex or any other big carnivore. I mean, to hear him say that the T-Rex can just hit the ground and ragdoll without dying, you know, it's gonna get back up, that's gonna be hilarious. What's his name, Hamad? I forgot! At the start of the stream, I had to switch some things around, so I didn't see his introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Am I loud? I am a bit loud. We actually haven't heard about other dinosaurs pack hunting, Timothy. So far, they're only talking about raptors. Okay, here we go. Back again.
Welcome back. And this
Jesus.
time, maybe even with working microphones. So to test that, because we're running live, I'd like to introduce you all to Adam Woods.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear that?
Could you hear that? We'll find out. Can we get a hi in the chat if you could hear Adam's hi?
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam. Let's get hi Adams in the chat. We're waiting for him.
Audio is still not great on their end.
Hi, hi. Oh, there it comes. There we go. Hi, Adam.
Typical gremlins.
They're saying you're a little quiet.
I could be loud if you want me to be.
Just be louder.
Or I can.
Oh god, here we
I'll keep that
go.
up for. My voice might get hoarse or dinosaur.
Oh, I see what you did
thank
there.
you.
Very
Thank
nice,
you.
very nice. So, Adam Woods, executive producer.
Executive producer, yeah.
So, for a lot of you on the stream,
This is a nightmare to sound balance. It's awful.
who don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about what your role is on Jurassic World Evolution 2?
Yeah, I am, as you said, Tim, I'm the executive producer. My kind of main role is to help Rich, who we may or may not see later, spoiler,
They're way louder right now.
with his
Jesus.
vision of the game, and then plan out how we're actually going to get that from A, which is concept, to all the way through to release. That's kind of like my main overall goal. I also lead the production team themselves, and production as a whole is kind of, I've said this before probably on stream, so apologies if I'm going over old ground, but we're kind of the oil between the cogs, and that's a really horrible way to describe the other team members. But they do the work, production kind of makes sure that those cogs are running as smooth as possible, and that they, animation, design, code, audio, all the team that are making this incredible game can actually do their job and to the best of their abilities. That's kind of the nitty-gritty of production itself. I also do puns quite a bit, as you tell from the beginning. Pretty good at them. But that wasn't, I didn't need to do that to get the job, so that was good.
I mean, that's refreshing because on my side, the puns were a requirement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You've got to
sense.
have that when you're working with the community.
Manager,
You've got to be able to roll with those little bits and pieces. And since we've asked everyone else so far,
Great legs.
what are your feelings about dinosaurs there, Adam?
Well, I mean, how can you not love them, right? They're these
Incredible.
Almost hard to believe that these things actually roam the earth that we're on. They're incredible, yeah. The T-Rex, obviously the Chinsaurus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not as good as you. But for me personally, Jurassic Park was actually the first film I ever saw at the cinema when I was 8, so I'm making myself a bit older there. My sister smuggled some prawn cocktail crisps in with us to eat them. And that was the first film. So to then, after all these, not too many years, just a few years, after all these years to actually be able to work on something that's, you know, sort of tied in with the franchise and Jurassic World is quite incredible. Dinosaurs aside, right, you know?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, dinosaurs aside, but also
Dinosaurs front and
dinosaurs.
centre. Yeah, yeah.
Dinosaurs at center as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
And from the dinosaurs that have been announced so far, would you say you have a favourite?
Yes, I have. I think I make it pretty clear every day that it's definitely the Amargasaurus.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the Amargasaurus.
Yeah, it's the new favourite since working on this one. Yeah, the Amargasaurus. It's an incredible, gentle giant, isn't it? You know, it
Yeah.
looks really friendly, but it's got these great big rows of spikes down the back, so you kind of wouldn't want to mess with it. So yeah, really pleased with how that one came out, as with all of them.
I mean, I'll be honest, if I was to meet any dinosaur, I probably wouldn't mess with it.
No.
It's probably not ideal.
No, none of them.
No.
It's not a.
It's not a smart
We've seen
play.
the films.
Yeah, we've
you know?
seen
we
the
see what
films.
happens. It's not.
We
it's
know
not
what
advised.
happens when you mess with them. That's very true.
I would also just like to quickly point out that Amy she does look friendly, but she also is friendly. I think
She's
Andy
hugely
threw a bit of
friendly.
shade on her there, and I just want to back her up there. She's still friendly. She
So
just knows how to
disclaimer.
kill a goat.
We love Amy. She's fantastic. She's super friendly, and she's incredible at what she does.
So is Andy as well. He's a
So
very
is
friendly
Andy.
guy as well.
Andy's incredible at
Yeah.
what he does, and he's super friendly as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to give
stop.
a blanket statement that has been completely true.
Everyone's friendly.
Everyone's friendly and everyone's amazing on the team. It's anytime I need information or I'm looking for some help, I can message anybody working on Jurassic World Evolution 2, and they will all help.
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
any moment. It's fantastic, and
Yeah.
obviously likewise, I'll do the same for
Yeah,
them
of
as
course.
well.
Andy said it before. It's an absolute collaboration between all departments that get this game to where it is now. You know, absolutely.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But there is one man who we haven't introduced yet on the stream.
We haven't. No.
We haven't, and we're about to. So, some of you may know
You all
this
know this
person.
guy.
This is who Adam was referring to earlier. And between myself, Adam, and our mystery final guest, we will all be showing you the live gameplay and talking about it as we go. So we're going to flip the camera over to our guest who is sitting ready to play. And there's Rich Newbold.
Hi, Rich.
So, Rich, welcome to the stream.
Thank you for having me. Slightly weird, I'm like just away from you.
Feels like you're in a
Again, the audio is different.
Yeah.
where Rich Newbold has got the latest gameplay,
Yeah.
but you're
Over here,
actually
my
just
little
there.
my little desk. It's quite nice. Quite nice. The chairs doesn't look as comfy as your sofas do.
Our sofas they're pretty comfy.
Yeah, I'm
We've
not
got
gonna
one
lie, they're
each.
pretty good.
Absolutely.
I could be anywhere with the green screen. We could put me on like a tropical beach. It's
Where would you
great.
want to be? If you could be anywhere, where
Right
would you
here.
want to be? Oh,
It would just be
you.
right here with you.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Right here with us.
That was pretty
No,
good.
Adam.
Oh, with Adam. Well, so we've only got one guest now on the stream.
We've gone down.
Rich is no longer welcome. No, I'm kidding, of course. Rich is incredibly tolerable. So, no, I'm kidding. Rich is, of course,
That's on the LinkedIn profile.
he's, of course, absolutely wonderful as well. So, I would say, Rich, if you could give us a little bit of an idea of what you do as the game director for those of you who haven't seen you on the stream before.
Yeah, so I'm the game director, so it's a kind of, Adam described it in kind of lofty, it's my vision, but it's not, I'm kind of the man at the top, the boss man is what we call me.
Boss man Rich.
Mocking way, but I'm the one that kind of has ultimate say on what we do, what we don't do, working collaboratively with a very talented design team and the rest of the development team about what we're going to put in the game, what kind of direction we're going to take with everything, and then I report up to the execs at Frontier about what we're doing in the progress of the game. But kind of me and Adam work collaboratively, as Adam says. It's his role to get the game shipped. It's my job to kind of push him as much as I can for as much in the game as possible. But we work together to balance the risk and all the changes and try and make it as best as possible. We work as a team.
Yeah.
Bringing you an amazing Jurassic World experience.
Bringing you an amazing Jurassic World experience. Absolutely. So I think what we can probably look to do now is the moment that many have been waiting for, and that's start having a look at a little bit of gameplay from Jurassic World
Yes.
Evolution 2. So before
Here
we
we
start,
go.
I just want to let everybody at home know a couple of different things. This is an in-development build. This is, of course, meaning that there might be some things that are different from in the final game. There might be some bugs that we encounter, because that's obviously the nature of development as we go. But we were looking at this and we wanted to make sure that we could show as much as possible to everybody at home. So we've created a version here which is allows us to show you even more. So we'll be able to have a look at, of course, some basic parts of building your park, but we've also created it in such a way that you'll be able to see some aviaries and some lagoons today. So you can see some flying reptiles and some swimming ones as well. So just to be clear that we have created this version so that we could do this for you, and that this is an in-development version of the game. But I think we can get started, Rich.
Like the microphones, just forgive us if it all falls over.
Yeah. It'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
I mean, you'll get really familiar with the back soon screen if that happens, so it's okay.
I'll start singing.
I'm over here driving, which is why I'm in my separate areas, because I'm the man on the decks.
So we've got Rich in the studio with us, so you'll be able to hear him all the time. But of course, as he'll be focusing on playing the game for you all, we're going to be the ones who are chatting with you and that you'll be able to see in the corner, and we'll be helping point out the different bits and pieces. So should we do some challenge mode gameplay?
Yes, please.
I think so. I think that's the right thing to choose.
Because that's the plan.
Because that's the script.
That's the
And
plan.
I think that's what we should stick to.
I'm proud of you guys for reading the plan.
I love challenge mode. It's the mode that I really enjoy playing the most. Now I did with Jurassic World Evolution 1 as well. It's a mode that I really enjoy because the challenge is, it's a simple challenge. I'm going to say the word challenge a lot. It's just make a 5-star park. And we have different difficulties. So we have easy, medium, hard, and Jurassic. But in Jurassic World Evolution 2, we've modified things slightly from within the first game. So there are different levels. We have different conditions now. So it's not just about building a 5-star park. In each level, there's going to be different conditions, as well as the different level itself, different calamities, different environmental challenges that you might have to deal with. We have different conditions now. So you might have levels where there's no herbivores. There's no carnivores. We've artificially made research and salary more expensive. In some levels, there's no building upgrades available for you as well. So in Jurassic World Evolution 2, for instance, the storm defense, instead of being its own building, is now an upgrade. In that challenge mode level, you won't have access to that. So we've tried to come up with new ways to make each challenge mode level unique and different. We're really hard on that, and also that each difficulty is difficult as well, and we have different things that you have to deal with. So
we try the hardest. I was talking to Dan Davies the other day. I wasn't on Jurassic World Evolution, but obviously we had the Jurassic difficulty.
Interesting that he has a green screen and they're not using it.
You got through some of the challenges. So this time round, we're just going to throw loads more at you and really try and make it that tricky top.
Exciting thing.
But no doubt someone will just cruise right through it. But we'll see. Rich can do it, of course.
It'll all be very, very exciting either way, whichever difficulty. It does mean that
it's tailored to how you want to play.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
For
I'm in easy mode. I'm straight on the easy mode.
Straight on easy mode.
Same, easy.
So I'm more of a player. I'll go for that Jurassic mode, and then I'll realise that I shouldn't have done that, and I'll restart over on easy or medium, and sort of start from there and work my way back up.
It's good to
Here we go.
You play it how you want to play it, right?
Absolutely, and it's great that we've got that ability in there for everyone as well.
You made it.
So as you can see, we're in the development build, and on this challenge mode, we're in Canada.
Yes, one of the various locations. We're no longer, sort of on just the 5 deaths now. It's with the events of Jurassic World.
Stormy, I am usually live every Saturday, including tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be a really big Jurassic World Evolution 2 discussion stream. We're going to talk about everything, so if you want to join, just subscribe and you'll get a notification.
World Fallen Kingdom, we're taking a look at some of North America in this game as well now, and as we are here, we're in Canada, in one of the Taiga. There's a question, Taiga or Tiger environments. Which obviously is a very, very different situation to the tropical islands. So straight off the bat, it's a very different environment and place to be. And seeing these dinosaurs in this location is quite impressive.
Yeah, it is, and it gives us all of these new challenges.
With the different environments come different, potentially different weather calamities and different weather challenges that you may have to face as a player. So
pick up the pace, please. Show us some stuff.
If we can we'll move to the full screen view. So you'll still be able to hear us at home, Rich,
There
do you
you
reckon you
go.
could give a little explanation on how you're starting your park and what you've got there in the bottom right corner?
So down here we have, this is the first challenge level, so we've given you some suggestions of how to start making money. Obviously the objective is to make a 5-star park, and the way you do that is to build a park that is making lots of money, has lots of dinosaurs, and your guests are really happy and comfortable. So we're just going to give you some starting objectives just to get the ground going, get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling so you know what you're going to need to do, learn the basics so that you can then build on that to get to 5 stars. And the first thing you're going to need in a dinosaur theme park is some dinosaurs. So we're going to
There you
build
go.
a couple of buildings of building the basics of making some dinosaurs. And we need 2 key buildings to begin with. We need one which is the expedition center. So you're going to use this building to send expeditions around the world to collect dinosaur fossils from various dig locations. And what we need to do is make sure this building is connected to the rest of our facility. To connect it to the arrival point, we use this as kind of like a hub building, so all the buildings need to connect to it.
I think also I'm going to rate your park at the end of it.
Ooh, I want
I think we should all rate it.
We can give it individual ratings.
The game already does that, but cheers.
Well, we can
No,
give it
it's
ratings
I think
as
it's,
well.
I've got a star.
it's a stream rating. I think.
Rich is like, oh, the game does that, okay?
Chat, we're going to ask you at the end of the stream to give Rich's park a rating
I
and
can't
see
wait.
what you think.
I can't wait for the comments about the game director can't play his own game.
Yeah, I would also.
right.
Yeah, I'll give you a little caveat there because I do feel you on that one. It's a very different situation when you're playing your own game on a live stream.
We're gonna be all
all
right.
of it goes out the
And
window.
it's going to be fantastic.
But I'm going to put you under a bit more pressure as well because
Thanks, man.
you're welcome.
So
I'm here
the buildings in Jurassic World Evolution 2 also need power. So in the sequel, we've added some new buildings to the power system from the first game. So in the first game, you would build a power station and use substations to share that power to all your buildings using pylons. So what we've added is a new building type called the backup generator, which is there to act as a parachute for when your power stations get sabotaged or they need rebooting or they're damaged in a storm. So the backup generator is kind of there to supply power when your power stations go down, but it's also kind of the starting set of power buildings you're going to need and you use before you research the kind of more concrete power stations.
So let's get some.
I'm gonna fill my park with backup generators just in case.
As you were mentioning, the next steps are making sure that we can get straight on to getting a few dinosaurs in the park as well, right?
Yeah. So whilst my expedition centre now has power and is connected, so we're going to send out an expedition team to collect some dinosaur fossils for us. I always like this Jutheomimus. It's just a very good foundation,
Good,
basic
good
dinosaur.
safe dinosaur to
Yeah,
start
it's
with.
safe to
If
start
dinosaurs can be safe, which we know they're not always
They're
safe,
not always
but
safe.
I think I could last 10 minutes with a fist fight against a Jutheomimus than a T-Rex.
I
So
mean-
if it's going to break out,
Why?
I'll give it a go.
I mean, that's true. A
it
T-Rex
is like an ostrich though, and they're big, so I take it back.
Yes, but the T-Rex is even bigger, I
Yeah,
think.
that's true.
So we're,
It would be a war of attrition against the Struthia.
I mean, luckily you can build things like shelters and are encouraged to do so
Yep.
for your park guests.
Guest comfort is important as well. Yeah,
Hugely
it's not
important.
It is
yeah.
a theme park, so Rich is rightly kind of starting with the dinosaurs. I tend to start with the dinosaurs as well because you can
Right.
get the enclosure set up, kind of bed them in, make sure they're okay, make sure they're comfortable, make sure that they're not going to break out,
Yeah, of course.
and then kind of turn your attention to the guests because, any successful theme park needs to look after your guests as well.
You need to make sure that
get a bit
there's
thirsty.
an attraction,
Yeah.
which is, of course, the dinosaurs for them to come to.
Yeah.
So what you can see Rich doing right here is getting the first
Oh,
hatchery.
here we go. Something's turned up.
And something has happened there as well.
So we have these little events that can sometimes, pop up. And as you saw, Rich was just placing down a building, so it's kind of tied and in contextual to what was happening in game. And they do have effects as well. Like it's a multiple choice, as you saw there. He could either, I think it was a building material one, so you could either keep the excess building material if you had damage or repairs to make, and you can sort of funnel it into that. Or you can get the money back if you need to. So depending on the situation where you are, obviously I think he took the money back, which makes sense because he didn't have anything to
you got a
to
lot
repair.
of choices, and they can take you in these different
so
directions.
there's just little kind of they give you a little bit of colour while you're playing through the challenge.
Absolutely.
So you see, when he's got his expedition team has come back now, so he's going to head over to the science centre.
So the science centre gives us a couple of things that we can have a look at, and one of them, as you can see right now, being the fossils and
on the face of it, it's very people will be aware of what this screen if you play the first game, but there are some changes here as well, aren't there, Rich?
Yeah, so in Jurassic World Evolution 2 we now have an extraction slot, which means you can queue up multiple fossils at once, or fossils and minerals, and then you extract them all in one go using your scientists. It allows you to then kind of choose which ones you want to do, and I think as you go through the building upgrades paths, you can get some more slots, and you can extract more fossils at once. So I'm going to do all of these in one go. Assign a scientist. The scientists, the new system that we've added for the game. So as every part of creating a dinosaur will use your scientist. They're people that you can hire and you have to pay salary for. So you can have to then balance whether you want to hire more scientists, which is a lot more
Rich,
money.
Come on.
Keep the ones you've got and train them up.
Keep going. You can do it.
They have three different. You have the three different proficiencies.
Yes.
One is welfare, one is genetics, and the other one is logistics.
Logistics.
That's the one. I always
It's
forget
logistics.
that one. And then they also have their own traits. So, for instance, Travis has cheaper research. So if I use him on a research tab.
We have a lot of extraction slots. I mean, when you unlock all of them, that's going to be a massive help.
Scientist team can be used in different ways. So I'm just going to put them on this.
You can also, so what Rich is doing here is each task has a maximum slot of scientists you can assign. Too many cooks spoil the broth and all that, so you don't want everyone piling in.
Of course.
But you can, if you have spare scientists to free up for tasks, you can reduce kind of the duration of those tasks by adding more people on.
Absolutely.
So that's like another kind of balance and lever that the players can use to
have more scientists on a project, but
then you're not going to be able to research another thing or something like that. So you can either kind of get some parallelization. I have to say that word a lot in my job, and I can't. Or it's a bit more sequential with piling people up. So it's a great addition.
Add more scientists to your roster as well.
Yep.
Now, Rich is
interesting fence placement
available to him.
That's quite an enclosure as well.
It is quite the enclosure.
So I'm historically, and it's a running joke with me in the design, really bad at making nice looking enclosures, because I'm not an artistic type, you could say. So my attitude to fencing is basically click, 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 click. That looks about right. So
At least he's very self-aware.
Toggle for once in my life. I'm very much right angles and things like this. Like that could have been nicer. I know it could have been nicer, but
it's a trademark now, though. I know if you go to a Rich Newbold Jurassic World Park, you'll know what it's going to look like.
Approach.
Yeah.
So
it's so slow, though. Look at how slow the fence is generating.
They noticed that the fences aren't instant.
No. So there's a kind of one of the updates to fence construction is that it is now in sequence to how you've placed it, as opposed to just being instantly there. So adds another little thought, a little bit of extra management layer of how you construct your park and how you lay it out. So you can see here, Rich has taken time to build his unique looking enclosure.
We also wanted it to be add a layer of complexity for when a dinosaur did get out. So that in Jurassic World Evolution 1, you could kind of very quickly fence the situation away and you kind of deal with it that way. But now you don't have that. You don't have that easy out of quickly building a fence around an escaped dinosaur. Now,
okay,
that's true. There's a chance they're just going to move away from where you put your fences in, so you're going to have to deal with them with the ranger teams and the capture teams instead. So
Absolutely.
It was one of those things that it's a bit of we like the way it looks as well. It kind of feels that you're building things like you do with the other buildings. They take time to construct, so that we do the same with the fences and the paths as well, do it in a little bit of a way, but it also kind of means that you're more challenged as park managers to deal with any of the dinosaurs escaping. So I think I now have a lot of
Alright, come on.
Struthiomimus genomes, so I'm going to synthesize and incubate a new dinosaur. So we're going to use the new two-step process, the synthesize and incubation, create a new dinosaur. So we have our fossils, we've extracted that dinosaur DNA, that amazing dinosaur DNA, and now we're going to make a dinosaur.
Amazing. So while Rich is beginning the process of making a dinosaur, I just want to quickly let everybody at home know what we're doing here today. So we are currently in the middle, as you can see, of gameplay for Jurassic World Evolution 2. So welcome everybody to the chat that I saw just filing in there. Just to let you know, that's what we're doing today.
We know what we're doing, what you're doing, love. We've been here a while. Ooh, that Struthiomimus is looking good in the preview.
And so therefore there might be some bugs, there might be some small issues, but we've also adjusted this build so we can show you as much as possible during this stream. So we've made it so we can get to things like
show you as much as possible, and then he's going slow like a slug.
this as quickly as possible, because we know after all of your incredible comments that you want to see all of this live. So we're trying to do as much as we can for you today. So right now, we're in the midst of creating our first dinosaurs in our park. And it looks like Rich has chosen the Struthiomimus for that.
Our Lord and Savior, the Struthi.
Now, so in Jurassic World, it was just the one kind of incubation step and release your dinosaur, whereas now what you have is a chance to synthesize a clutch of eggs. So you have a chance, depending on the species, of actually releasing more than one dinosaur at a time now, which is a massive update. During the synthesization, it's not even a word.
Synthesis.
During the synthesis of the eggs, that's at the point where you have chance to make any tweaks to the genome. So we can now look at some of the traits which are new for Jurassic World Evolution 2, which I think Rich had a quick look at when he was building these. Maybe we can have a look at it later as well. And we've also categorized them, so it's a bit easier for players to understand what they're going to change and how that all.
Just get it out there, get it out there.
And he then went on to incubate those eggs, so actually warm them up, get them ready for maturity, and then release, which is where we are now.
We have two.
And we have two options. Oh, Tim, you're good. You see all the options, don't you? Nothing gets past you.
No.
Yeah, I had 3 eggs after the synthesis stage, so I picked the 2 that had the most traits.
Right.
I left 1 behind, but that allows me to, if some of the eggs have manifested traits that are negative, because there is a chance, depending on the genome, that some of the traits are negative, you might not want that kind of dinosaur in your park, whether it's, it might be a sickly dinosaur or one that becomes really thirsty, but you can pick the ones that you want to kind of incubate and then bring out. So,
let's release our first dinosaurs.
So there's 2, so that's the example of more than one, obviously.
They look good.
So I think this leads on to one of my favourite things. I mean, you know this because I constantly say I love this part of the game, is when the different dinosaurs start finding their space and their territory. And finding out what can we do to make them more comfortable, which areas that are in. Do we want them to find it outside, or are we going to fulfill their needs within it? So the territory system, I love it.
Look at these Struthies just conquering the world.
There's the Gallimimus, they're walking around the enclosure. And there's Struthio, sorry. And they're starting to seek out the things they need. So Rich has got one of them selected. You can see under the environmental needs, they've got obviously a need for water, as most animals do. Ground leaf, which is part of the paleobotany system, which we can talk about in a second when he starts to paint that down, or he's doing it now, but we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to
I can't go that quick.
That's okay. You're
and also they have a forest need. Obviously some sort of animals like to shelter and kind of be able to hide and feel good. So they're seeking this out within the area they're allowed to kind of move within, because he's put them within this enclosure. And you can see that's highlighted with the blue UI there. He's clearing some space just to place down these leafy climbers. Now this is part of the paleobotany system. Herbivores are now fed through these plants that he's placing down, so there's no herbivore feeders anymore. That's actually based on some research into prehistoric plants that we've actually had a look at here at Frontier. A short dinosaur, you might find that the brachios will need tall fibre or tall nuts or something along those lines.
They need tall nuts.
That provides that, you'll notice that there is a difference in the model. It's not just
absolutely.
kind of
and you've got to make sure that they stay fed and they stay happy within their new residential areas.
Exactly, residential areas. Exactly, once they're in their grand estate.
So I did notice one quick comment in the chat mentioning that it's really great that you can release 2 dinosaurs at once.
Yeah.
But you can actually release more depending on
the
egg
species.
clutch.
Yeah, depending on and that's all dependent on the species. So there's no. Again, we're trying to make it as sort of natural and realistic as dinosaurs that were 65 million plus years ago were. But it's all about building a world that's believable. So depending on the species, you'll perhaps get smaller clutches. But yes, it is possible to release more than one. And as we were talking before, you would have noticed there's 2 options now. You can release it, or
out of
the dinosaur straight out of the hatchery into the enclosure, or you can build your little airlock system that I used to do on the first game as well. But we also have the option to release via airlift now. So instead of having to kind of try and figure out multiple hatcheries and things like that, you can use the airlift option and then place them into another enclosure within the park. So that's a very nice little quality of life update.
I'll admit that's definitely one that I use consistently.
I've used it a lot. Yeah,
I've got
when money's a bit tight.
I mean, really, if you were to really delve deep into the stream and pause like every frame of the UI, they are showing a lot, but it's just not what we want to see.
You don't
so
tie
it
them
worked
up.
out brilliantly that I could create these different areas, get them ready in advance, and then airlift, especially with the more carnivorous
Yes,
species. I was making
when you
sure
don't want to
add
risk
them.
any kind of fights or anything, then absolutely it's a great option. You can see these guys have built up quite a big territory.
Yeah.
I think Rich has done a pretty good job at making sure they're nice and content. Yeah, everything's looking perfect.
I've tried to put the water over here, and I'm going to put the viewing gallery, so they're more likely to.
The territory for these guys is huge, though. Is that just, do they adjust to the enclosure? Because
Of managing your park is to ensure guests can see the dinosaurs. And you saw there that as they were walking over to that area, the territory was getting bigger. Over time, it also decays, again, like a natural animal's
There's a certain
territory.
flow to it,
They have to kind of keep on top of their area. So these, as you play and watch them, you'll see that the territory starts to shrink if they're not particularly interested in the area over time. And then they'll kind of ensure that they've got the area that they want. Every species has a kind of general size of territory that they're happy with.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful to make sure your enclosure is the right size that will actually make sure they're comfortable.
Just saw another
it's
comment from the
snowing.
chat from Blue Phantom on Twitch, saying that they love the UI and the colour of the UI and how it all fits with the map, and it's just a lot of love for the UI in the game.
The UI designers and developers have done an incredible job at conveying an awful lot of information. It's not easy managing a park. Certainly not easy managing a park full of dinosaurs. There's a lot of information that we need to get across to the player very quickly and easily, and I think they've done an incredible job, but still keeping.
it looks like he's going after Coelophysis DNA right now. I'm kind of hoping that maybe sneakily we're gonna see some sort of interaction between Coelophysis and Struthiomimus. Maybe if even accidentally?
For more
Struthiomimus?
Struthiomimus?
I think it's Struthiomimuses. I had a long conversation with several
These are the
members.
conversations you have in game development.
I had a long conversation
about how you
with several
pluralise
members of
Struthiomimus.
the Jurassic World Evolution 2 team about, do we call it like with S's or I, or what is the pluralization? And we settled on like Struthiomimuses, Stegosauruses, Brachiosauruses, rather than.
So very quick, sorry to interrupt you, Tim. You can see here the batch size that in the initial step is actually created quite a few. However, you can see now there's actually only 4 viable eggs that have gone through. So that synthesis stage does have a chance to not perhaps be able to pull all the eggs through. And then Rich can check the traits there in the bottom right-hand corner. And if he's made any cosmetic changes, there's quite a little an update to some of the cosmetics that you can apply to the dinosaurs now as well. And he now needs to get his scientist applied. Being careful of those 2 bottom scientists.
I was just about to say.
There's a bit of a red warning there, Rich. What was that all about?
So the scientists, as you give them tasks to do in your park, will build on rest. So kind of a bit like in Jurassic Park, the movie, when Nedry I know that was, he wanted more money, but the idea that we've used for organizations is that if you're giving your scientists more tasks to do, they build up this unrest value, and when that hits a certain point, there is a chance that if you give them another task, they will become disgruntled. And if they're disgruntled, then there's a chance of more sabotage appearing in your park. So the way I can mitigate that is to have more scientists so I can spread the work out, and then have a staff centre so that I can rest them. So
I think a staff centre is a good idea.
So
Yeah.
I've been,
So
whilst you
everyone
guys
needs
have
a
been
Kit
talking,
Kat and a Diet Coke.
I got that staff centre ready.
So that's another new building, isn't it? That come along.
They're putting a lot of buildings on just that singular backup generator. That's, well, promising. I personally like that.
And so then you have access to be able to hire a few more scientists as well. You can also, of course, upgrade that building as well.
They look so
I
great.
love
Look at them. There's a whole new world for them.
And these guys will now join their territory with the other ones that should be
Yeah.
here as well. It should just
So
be-
they're
End up as a group of 4.
yeah.
Yep.
So where were we? We were.
So you got a viewing platform
resting.
there already, or you got a viewing gallery? Sorry,
Yes.
should I say? Yeah.
I've
You know.
got 70.
Sean Smith, I think you can just fire the stressed people, but it's very expensive to hire new people. So in the long run, that's not going to be manageable.
Oh, thanks, Adam. It's a
Thanks.
really good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's available, Jurassic World Evolution 2, on November 9th, and it is available for pre-order right now. And even with a deluxe edition as well.
Just have lots of extra goodies in there.
Yes, there's extra vehicle skins
Yep.
and
Extra
dinosaurs and reptiles.
And reptiles.
Of course.
Flying reptiles, marine reptiles.
Yes. So it's available November 9th. What we're doing here today is showing you with a in-development build, as you can see there in the top right. This is not the final version of the game. This is actually one which we are using today to try and show you as much of the game as possible. So
We see the security ratings on the fence as well as the Struthiomimus. They have a security rating of 1. Literally every single fence is too strong for them. I wonder if that means they can't break it.
lagoons as well before the end of the stream, and that's why we've got this specific build today
Can
so
we-
that we can
can
get
we-
there.
It's so
Yes,
bad.
you're doing brilliantly there, Tim. But can we
Thanks.
just have a look at what he's just done there?
It's so bad. I tried at one point. I tried at one point to make a really
What's
nice
the
boat.
umbilical cord between?
It's artistic.
So that everything's connected.
Why have I got this?
I don't know.
Yeah, why did I do that?
Brilliant. It's lovely, Rich.
So, this is one of my new favourite things we added.
Yeah.
Is like a bulk demolish tool, so I
Ooh.
can just remove all my fences I want to get rid of in one go.
Oh,
and then
you
turn
you,
it-
Oh,
you were building
that's
it like that
nice.
so that you could show the feature off. Well done. Sort of.
Yeah,
like the
exactly,
gland.
exactly
He's very
what it
clever.
was.
He's
is-
smart.
is
He's
Rich
a
Newbold.
smart
Yeah.
man.
He's very
Rich
smart.
Newbold.
It's all by design.
Yeah. But the delete brush is a very good update.
It's a great feature.
Yeah, it's one of
if you wanna
the
clear
improvements we
big
made to a
bits.
number of tools. So you can now move buildings as well. So if you click on any of the buildings and go to the extra tab, you can now pick up and move a building without needing
Guys!
to delete it and try and kind of do
Yeah.
it again. So I can, if I wanted to optimize my park and move this.
Oh, that's nice
slightly
quality of
different
life
place,
right there. That's
um,
nice.
Could. And I'm just going to move it 1 foot to the left just to prove a point that I could.
He is, and he took a gamble because all his fences came offline there. But the Gallimimus were happy, so
Yeah, they're fine.
They were
he'd
okay.
done his job
So the
beforehand.
the Gallimimuses are
Struthiomimus.
the Struthiomimuses are
Struthio.
a security rating of 1, so they won't break out of this fence anyway. They just, if they did get disgruntled or they're uncomfortable, they try to escape, they wouldn't be able to destroy this fence.
There you go. They can't destroy a fence that has a security rating higher than the dinosaur. So that's also really great news. No more Struthiomimus headbutting their way out of these fences.
Dinosaurs that you're putting in there as well. So,
So whilst Rich is creating these beautiful enclosures, and
Which are being
adding-
rated, by the way. If anyone's joined in, don't forget
are we
to-
still rating them?
Yeah, yeah,
We're
definitely.
still-
It's
I
out
mean,
of
we're still
5.
gonna rate it.
We've got to give it our own out of 5
Um,
stars.
But the chat have been asking for specifically what are people's favourite dinosaurs. So we can go with yours to start.
Yeah, mine's the Amargasaurus. Absolutely.
Big puppy.
Yeah, it looks like it would like a good little chin scratch, you know, and would appreciate it. Just steer clear, like a hedgehog, I suppose. Steer clear of the spines, and you'll probably be all right.
And then they'll be very friendly.
But yeah, a really nice, big, gentle giant. I've fallen in love with the Amargasaurus. It's my new top favourite dinosaur.
I mean, for me, I told this story with Andy earlier about that book I had when I was. So
Yeah.
the pterodactyl ends up being one of my favorites, absolutely. But I did always love going to like the Natural History Museum and seeing the giant skeletons there, and that was always, admittedly, I felt like they were
Seeing Rich build a park is sort of like, I feel like we're getting insight into his psyche. Like, he's laying down path, and I'm like, what are you doing? And the same with the fence. Like, why? His brain is chaotic, but it's beautiful.
I was like, can you make it more gigantic? And he'd go, yep, I understand that exactly.
Got that. How about you, Rich? What would you say your favorite dinosaur is?
Triceratops.
Triceratops?
Good old classic.
It's really boring, and I know it's not boring. It's an amazing dinosaur. It's just I know that we have over 75 prehistoric species in this game. We have so many dinosaurs, and it's the Triceratops. But that's because for me, it comes from a place of love. It was the first dinosaur that I saw in Jurassic Park. The first time, kind of, those things that I saw when I was a child be brought to life in film, and it kind of felt real, because the first time you see it is they're up close and personal with it. It's sick. It was alive, and that kind of cemented it in as something that I really. It just made dinosaurs real, as opposed to just pictures in a book. Because you get told, oh, these things lived millions of years ago and they roamed the earth, and you're like, that's amazing, but it's hard as a child to really believe that. But as soon as I saw it in the film, I was like, this is alive. This is a real thing.
That's cute.
So I'm prepping for some Coelophysises.
Okay,
I'm doing it again.
Coelophysis.
Coelophysis.
Well, the Coelophysis
More than one
and
Coelophysis.
its friends.
Yes.
The Coelophysis and its friends.
And its mates.
We've also got.
So here's the. Sorry, Tim, because we.
No, we didn't go over this before.
We didn't go over this
let's
before.
Have a look at this.
What Rich is doing here is looking at the Coelophysis genome and making any adjustments that he wants to. Some of the traits are locked, so he perhaps needs to either research more or get more genome, and kind of unlock a more understanding of the DNA that you can then tweak. And everything from where he's trying to make it live a little bit longer, so splice it with some other DNA of other animals that will help make it live a little bit longer in the park and
Creating a dinosaur does now require more steps, since you also have to assign a scientist.
Comes first, of course.
And he also made some cosmetic changes there as well. So there's some sort of skin colour changes you can make and pattern colour changes. And we're trying to make it synthetic to the environment that you're in as well. So it all sort of ties in with how perhaps animals in the real world kind of tend to.
And dinosaurs in the real world.
And dinosaurs in the real world.
Yeah.
They are real, why not? Let's say that.
One of the questions that we saw come through was about, can guests see through fencing? So that's a pretty good place to maybe talk about the viewing galleries and the like, I think. Because that's one right there, right?
Yeah, so we have viewing galleries. We can talk about
visibility.
Yeah.
Game's got our back.
Yeah, but what about the fences?
So the focus in the game is ensuring that they can see the dinosaurs. The main focus is these viewing galleries that Rich has already placed. We have a viewing platform as well, which gives obviously a height advantage, so you can see. Because some of the enclosures you're going to build are quite big, and the viewing cone. If Rich clicks on the viewing gallery very quickly, you can see the area that guests would be able to see the dinosaurs in, if that makes sense. If you had a platform there, it could reach further into the enclosure. So you have to sort of balance to maximise the visibility of your dinosaurs for your guests. But you also have other things like tour rides and stuff that will give visibility to that as well as hotels, which I think you placed.
I have placed
just building one?
Because I'm trying to improve. My guest comfort is low, and that's why I don't have many guests at all, which is why my park rating is not very good. So I've been researching hotels, shelters, and restrooms. So we need to have more accommodation, so the guests will
that's a no.
stay. Yep. We need restrooms so they can go and.
That's a no on visibility on fences. That's a strike, Frontier. That's a strike.
So the last one, shelter, so they can feel safe. So as I'm placing this restroom, what we do is we have added some more feedback, so that you have an idea of where the demand is now for certain buildings, certain amenity types. So I can see that there's lots of demand for restrooms on this main thoroughfare between this viewing gallery and the arrival point, because our guest economy system is kind of destination based. We like to have it so that the guests come in from the arrival point and they're going to a destination, which means that we can have the guest economy be focused around certain parts of specific paths. So they're trying to come to this viewing gallery, and that's why we know where they're going to hit. So the guests they're not walking towards this response facility because the guests are going to go the shortest distance to the dinosaurs. We want to see.
Of course, I want to see the dinosaurs rather than the. I mean, as much as the good work that the response teams will be doing, I'm here for the dinosaurs.
Well,
that's why I've arrived.
Guys, we are also here for the dinosaurs.
Struthiomimus and friends.
The information that the dinosaurs have is time limited. So the ones that we made more recently, we can see their information. We can see how they're going on. But the ones that we first made, their data is now obfuscated. So it's we need to use the ranger teams to have them periodically check the status of those dinosaurs. So we can either send out the ranger teams and go, hey, can you go scan this dinosaur for me and let me know what the data is? Or I can use a new building that we've added, the ranger post, which we can put that in one of our enclosures, and then we can assign the ranger team to the post, and it will then periodically on a kind of patrol go to the ranger post and scan the dinosaurs in the radius of the ranger post and give me that information. The ranger teams will also replenish any feeders automatically that we place in here for the carnivores. So off goes that team and they're out, and our part rating is going up. So that's going up because our guests are slightly more.
I was hoping for no clipping, Tom. Of course, it is still alpha, so maybe it's getting fixed, but just I'm triggered by the clipping.
Doing it a lot playing the game recently because I keep hiring lots of scientists and training them up, and then I'm spending a lot of money on salary, and it becomes that challenge for you as a part manager. Like, actually, I'm going to fire one of these because they're costing me too much, and I'm not earning enough to cover that. My dinosaurs aren't appealing enough.
You have to plan and think. Perhaps in the early game, being a bit more, careful with your money.
So our Coelophysis, I think the batch size was possibly 10. I've got 8 eggs, but 2 of these have manifested a negative trait. So these ones will
skittish,
a bit more panicking, a bit more panicking. They might panic a bit more.
Panicky.
They're gonna. I mean, you could give them a shot, see what happens. Just take them all.
Tim.
You're in the hot seat now, Tim.
Well, it's not my park that'll get rated.
I'm not the one that's being. So,
on the ranger post as well, it might be interesting to.
I'm curious to see if those Coelophysis will go after the Struthiomimus. I do hope so. But they're going very slow. Weren't they also intending to show us the lagoons and the aviaries? They're taking their sweet time.
Be efficient and maybe put that towards the edge of an enclosure, and it could actually cover another enclosure, and they will go into that enclosure and then scan there. It's not enclosure bound, if that makes sense. It's actually a diameter around the post itself.
Okay.
So of course, direct control is still there as well. Players can still jump straight into the Jeep and drive that around. If they wish to.
We can have a little drive. I think we'll head on to looking at some building customization in a moment as well.
Yeah,
Rich.
we will.
Building customization.
I've got some guests. They're happy.
We'll go for a drive.
But I've got some dinosaurs, but they're not. They need some food.
The music in the car.
I think somebody was asking to see a bit of driving as well, so it's pretty good.
Also got so when Rich is in the kind of the aim mode as well, he can still control the Jeep and move it around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we added the ability now for you to control and drive the ranger teams and the capture teams whilst also in the back seat doing your status checks or your repair or firing a flare.
Which is quite a skill.
It is a skill.
It's quite a skill.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
So, Coelophysis are ready.
Let's release
7.
I could have released them as the Struthiomimus, but I'm going to use the release via airlift and put them into that really beautiful enclosure I made. Okay, I'll put them in
so
here.
this is the delivery of the Coelophysis
That's nice,
and
though.
friends.
That's nice.
As you can see, there'll be
We have
We're
a
all
taxi
waiting.
rank. The taxi
Yeah.
rank is
We're all
waiting to
ready
pick them up.
to take them to their new home.
Friday night in all of any town.
I do not know where town you used to go out in that helicopters would be on the taxi rank waiting to take you home. That would have been brilliant.
Hey, the things things in Yorkshire are completely different. Okay?
We got a
Certainly not
quick
in
question
culture
as
stuff.
well from, is it Zintax88 on Twitch, asking how many game modes there are. So we've got career mode.
Campaign,
Yes, campaign.
Campaign mode.
Thank you. Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory.
Challenge mode, which is what we're playing today.
Yeah.
And sandbox.
Yeah.
So,
So 4 modes.
4 different modes
Mm-hmm.
and plenty to do throughout. For those of you who are just joining us as well, welcome to a Jurassic World Evolution 2 live gameplay live stream. We're currently here with Adam Woods, and manning the game is Rich Newbold. So we've got Adam Woods, executive producer, and Rich Newbold, game director, and we're playing the game for you today. And the version of the game that we're playing is in development build, as you can see in the top right there, and therefore there may be some bugs, there may be some small issues because this is not the final version of the game, but this is also a version
Rich
of
is
the
a
game
pro.
which we have adapted so we can show you as much as possible, because we want to make sure we can show everybody the aviaries and the lagoons today. And we're on a little bit of a timer, but I reckon we'll be able to get there.
I'm at
Rich
2
is doing a
stars
great
now.
job. He's almost at 2 stars.
I'm at 2
Excellent.
stars.
That's
Fantastic.
that's one of the changes we've made. We've looked at just reducing
Making it
some
a
of
bit
the
quicker.
requirements for getting hold
And
of the lagoon and the aviary, so that we can show them off.
I'm going to
Today,
start that.
exactly.
I've got the research available, so I'm going to make that. I'm going to start doing the research now, and then we can do some.
We
do
can
some
have a look at the
building
customizations as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what you also know, what you may have noticed, what Rich was doing while you were talking there to him, is he had his viewing gallery, but it's quite far away from where he had dropped off the Coelophysis Psi and Friends and Company and Co. and Limited. So he put some water right in front of the viewing gallery to see if he could tempt them round to that part of the enclosure.
Smart.
Because they're gonna try and seek that water out.
So that's actually a
He also put
brilliant
a
use.
carnivore feeder near there.
Oh, that's an interesting point, Sasquatch. They did not show any real terrain editing. Like, yeah, they placed foliage, but they didn't manipulate the ground. So they're keeping that under wraps for now.
They won't need to expand it, and if you need them to be in a certain
Yeah.
space for your guests, you can place what they need there, and they will make their way over, because
They'll
of course,
try, yeah. It
everybody
might- you
wants
know,
a nice meal.
They are still animals. They might not behave as you want to.
can
As,
certainly
you never
try.
work with animals or children.
In the words
You're
of-
working with both today, because animals and children.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, they'll there's more chance that they might then scoot over to that side of the
I
enclosure.
think in the wise words of most DMs, you can certainly try.
Yeah.
You could see there that water works the exact same way. There was like a slight elevation difference between the two puddles, and they wouldn't connect. They just cancelled each other out. So water works exactly the same as the current game.
You could have seen Rich. We
Yeah.
should have we'll counter, but you could also have a simultaneous.
Rich wants to talk properly now.
So the backup generator and other buildings have a limited resource now. So this one has fuel. So over a period of time, that's being used up. Then refill it, and then the response facilities now have. I can click on the building. There we go. Have fuel for your teams and food as well for the feeders. So there's now separate resources that's being used up that you have to then spend money on and manage as well. So.
That's
We've
interesting.
got another event turning up.
Oh, I love
so
that
perhaps
background
during one of
image.
the release, So we've just released some dinosaur,
Yeah.
and sadly a handler got injured.
I can afford.
So what's Rich going to do?
I can
The
afford
moral
that.
conundrum.
I can afford that.
I mean, let's look after the team.
So the options
Yeah,
were,
yeah.
I think, pay
nothing.
compensation, sort
Or do
of,
nothing.
look after them, or they knew the risks. It's fine. But
So
he
they
did the
knew
right
the
thing.
risks.
He did the right thing.
So we need some food and drink and souvenirs for our guests. So we've got some dinosaurs.
There's someone on YouTube saying, "Cover it up."
I know. Well, Rich didn't, but maybe
Oh,
some
well.
people in the dark
Rich
times we haven't
looks
quite
after
got
the
enough
staff
money
and then is adding some donuts. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So the amenity buildings are now customizable. So this is a food amenity. I can now customize what type of food it's selling, and then I can also customize the interior modules as well. So maximize my profit. So get a preview of how well it's going to do. So the interest group that is in this area is depending on the dinosaurs that are in this area. So in this part of the park, we have 40% standard and 40% nature guests, and we can then tailor the food to that group, and that will then change the profit. So
It does increase the running cost of the
I like that the adventure guests, their symbol is like a flame. They are literally on fire.
because that's what you don't want to be adding lots of interior modules, but your profit's going to plummet. And then we've got our demand has gone down. It's not red anymore, so everyone's happy that they've got lots of food here. We have 179 guests using it, and what we can do in Jurassic World Evolution 2 now is we can customize the look and feel
let's look
of
at
our
this.
amenity buildings. So
Look at that.
I can change between different building styles. I can change the different roof style.
Yep.
So
Lots of different
Lots of
ways
concrete.
to give it that little personal touch.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of up to the player. They can just place
Yeah,
it down,
absolutely.
or and custom, or leave it, or they can customize it at the point, or they can come back to it at a later time. It's just to make put your little stamp on your park itself. We'll all know a rich new bold park by its fences and how it chooses to decorate.
Oh, the little thatched roof that we saw in between. That's cute for the Jurassic Park look. I love
It's
this.
that
we
unique,
go.
rich, new, bold touch.
The rich new bold touch. So he's done enough with the structural changes
I've run out of power again.
because you didn't fill it right up.
Did I not fill it
No.
right up? Let's go with
So there's two options. Again, trying to give options to the player that are being under pressure with money. Maybe you can kind of drip fill
that
up
little
with
bit
50
in,
units of fuel, or you can
think I need
spend all
another
your
one.
money and fill it up completely.
that. Put another one over there. So where were we?
Going on to the flexi colour.
So the trademark rich new bold style is shambolic. So we're going to find that as a colour.
Shambolic. Is that
Okay.
your trademark style?
Generally blue. Is how I describe
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But no, we have different swatches. So green. I'm just going to name colours. This is purple.
Green.
It's not
Which
really.
you can name all the colours.
Orange.
All of them.
Yep. And then we also have a colour picker as well. So if you
I mean, come on, that's cool.
really choose the right kind of blue for your trademark style.
I think that's the rich blue, isn't it?
That is
There.
the rich blue. I
That's
do
the
like
rich,
blue.
new, bold blue.
And you can save these colours off as well, so you can quickly
Yeah.
Choose them for your next
choose them
building,
again if you want
keep
to
that
sort of theme an area or
consistency. Yeah.
theme certain
Yeah.
shops.
It's nice that you've got a lot, as you can see there.
The
you
whole,
can go for the whole spectrum.
Exactly, the whole spectrum of colour is.
Park building is gonna take a lot longer in the future, boys.
All them to the perhaps more pastel tones as well. Whatever
So,
takes
yeah.
your fancy, you can.
So I've just saved off my secondary colour. I've just used it again for the decorations, and I can also change the colour of the lights.
yeah,
So
which I think
nighttime-
it's really nice at night time when you've got a long row of shops with all different coloured lights and things. It looks very nice.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah,
You're going for, there's some familiar colours, that blue and yellow there
yeah.
on the donut shop. Okay. What have we got now? Philanthropy.
Online petitions to fund various philanthropic causes is growing. Do I spend half a million?
But look at the publicity for
Man.
it. Money can't
Can't
buy.
buy
Well, I mean,
that.
money can buy that
Can buy
publicity.
that.
It's about $500,000.
Yeah.
I do want to point something out. Cole Parrish here. I want to see them place down decorations. I want to point something out that I noticed. Remember in the earlier screenshots that we saw, the icon for decorations was a fountain, and I and many people like me were like, well, they can't make the icon a fountain and then not put in fountains. Well, that doesn't look like a fountain. That's a planter for sure, so...
It's probably worth it.
There you go.
It's probably worth it.
Just for those of you, again,
just wanted to point that
because
out.
I can see we've got quite a lot of new people joining this stream as we go, which is fantastic. Welcome, of course, to Jurassic World Evolution 2 live stream. We are playing the game live right now with executive producer Adam Woods. Hello.
I don't think, by the way, that they're going to show any decorations. I don't think. It would be nice.
Release on November 9th, and it is available for pre-order right now. And this build that we're playing is actually in development. As you can see in the top right corner, this is not the final version of the game because it's still an in development version, but we've also adjusted this version so we can show you as much content as possible in the time that we've got available today. So usually you would have a lot more of a park that you'd need to be building through, but we're going to be showing you some of the stuff the community's very excited for.
Yeah.
Mosasaurus is doing okay. It's fine.
Just keeping us on our toes, making sure it wasn't breaking out, because it's an actual tank.
I'm not sure if you guys at home have
cost
noticed,
a lot of money.
but we have got, of course, we set up an enclosure here in the streaming studio. So
with a viewing gallery.
Yeah,
this is basically what this is.
This is the viewing gallery for our Mosasaurus. We love her very much. There she goes.
You've introduced myself and Rich, though. You haven't introduced yourself again yet.
Started the stream with
Yeah, but with the new people coming in.
You're right.
Who are you?
My name is Tim Smith. I am the community lead here at Frontier.
His name is Tim. Thank you. I forgot.
It's great to be here, and we're currently playing a whole bunch of Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Live gameplay.
Okay.
So Rich is up to 3 stars now.
I've got
up to 3 stars. So while we're doing that quick catch up for everyone, Rich has been on it.
Yeah, exactly. He's rattled through
we have a
over 3
dinosaur
stars
fight.
now.
Yeah.
We made some of the adjustments, as Tim was saying before, in terms of how quickly we.
Rich, he's not going to the dinosaur fight, you meanie.
Yes, I'm very excited to.
Hence, to try and
see
get
these.
to. We know the content that
Here we go.
We know what everybody wants to see.
Yeah. So you can see we've unlocked. So Rich had to research and unlock the Avery Dome. It comes in single pieces, but can be modularly built up very quickly. You can see he's building quite an enclosure very quickly there.
I love on Twitter. So we revealed, of course, with the Dimorphodon and Pteranodon, we immediately saw people wondering how the Averys were going to work, and someone drew a diagram for the system
that we,
and they were like, "I hope it works this way," and we're just like, "You
well
are
done.
going to be
well
so happy."
5-star park for
this.
you.
Yeah, 5-star park for you.
Well done.
So yeah, that modular system, like
very
meaning
quick,
you can
very
spread
easy.
it out.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't necessarily need to build a huge enclosure. Again, the flying reptiles and marine reptiles have parity in terms of needs with the land dinosaurs, so they're not just kind of there and they're just going to be happy. You do have to look after them. They've got space they require, so you'd have to make sure that they're comfortable. And you can easily build very big enclosures like that. They also come with their own Avery viewing gallery for the Averys and a lagoon viewing gallery, which is very iconic, which we will get to see that.
Amazing.
And with the Avery, you can customize the environment inside as well. So the landscape tools are available to players to ensure that the reptiles are happy in there as well.
I can see there was a question on Twitch asking exactly that as you answered it. So it was perfect.
In tune. We
did have another question from somebody on YouTube asking, is it available to pre-order on Xbox?
Funny you should say that. Person that asked that question. It is available to pre-order on Xbox.
Amazing.
And PlayStation.
And Steam.
And it's coming November 9th. So not long to wait now.
The Jurassic World Evolution 2 or
the deluxe version with
we like
some
the deluxe edition.
Extra additional dinosaurs and goodies.
I love the Attenborough in the deluxe edition.
Yes.
It's so
named
cool.
after David Attenborough.
Yes.
In the poll, it looks like pre-order is winning by a landslide. 52% of the people who voted have already bought pre-order or are going to.
Well,
I love references. I love the authenticity. I just love being able to.
There it is. Hey, Tim almost got away with that. That's Richard's favourite quote of the film at the moment. There it is.
So yes,
there it is.
You heard it here. Rich Newbold's favourite quote from the entire.
Look him up on
franchise.
Twitter and send him all the gifts. He loves that gift.
There it is.
I do love the quote. I'm finding it. I find we're using it a lot.
A new building that you're just placing down there, Rich.
Yeah. So one of our Coelophysis has an undiagnosed ailment. So even though our ranger teams are giving us information, there's something wrong with it. But the ranger team won't tell us that. Our mobile veterinary unit will. Which is a new team we've added in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So there's a new building, the paleomedical facility. They have a new team as well. So there's a special medical truck that will go and diagnose and give us information about what's wrong with anything. And if we have injuries or anything like that, the PMF building, the paleomedical facility, is a building that you transport dinosaurs into to fix their injuries. So if they've hurt themselves in a fight or they've hurt themselves trying to escape, you transport them into here to fix things like a broken leg or things.
Some things can be, what's the word? not fixed. What's the other word?
No.
Treated.
Okay.
Treated in the field. They don't always have to be transported back, but certain kind of like major injuries probably have to safely tranquilise your dinosaur and then get them back to the building looked after. So that's a nice addition. So what are we?
Pteranodons.
Okay.
We're going to make some flying reptiles.
Yeah.
We have
Only 3 species are showing in the aviary hatchery right now. Perhaps that's a limitation within this particular sandbox that they're playing. I hope it's not a limitation of the game overall, or maybe they just haven't unlocked it yet. Although, you know, if they haven't unlocked it, then
There you go.
I can train them as well, so it's part of the research
Time to
system.
shovel coal.
You can unlock training points, so I can now increase their potential in any of the proficiencies, but that's going to increase their salary as well.
Yeah.
But doing okay for money, so
we're going to rest some.
Travis can have a bit more genetics.
Yeah.
And have a bit of rest.
There we
How
go.
is my money doing?
So scientists are a new layer of management that the player must look after, and they deal with all of your research and kind of creation of dinosaurs. So they, including expeditions, so you have to send them out to dig sites to get the fossils and ultimately extract
you're right, Dragon Surge. It's probably just this build.
dinosaur creation, and they also look after your research tasks as well. So very key staff members of the park that you have to look after. But of course, it is a collaboration in the park as well. You need all the other teams to be working well as well.
It's a good lesson for life too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aviary domes also with the hatchery. That's what Rich has been using to synthesize and incubate the pteranodons. So you don't do it in the normal hatchery. You have to build a bespoke version of it. Same with the lagoons, which we will see in a little while.
So yes, I saw some questions. I couldn't catch the name, but people on YouTube asking, can they see the lagoons? We are very specifically going to get to that as well.
Yes.
But first,
Tim, as a time check, I'm just going to start building the lagoon now. So
I think if you start building the lagoon now, then we can have a look at the aviaries whilst that's building. We should be good.
So a similar system to how we place down the aviary domes, and also how you're placing other buildings in the game. We're just placing down these circular pools, which can be modularly extended, depending on.
That's interesting. Did he have to delete the trees before placing the tank? Or was it just an artistic, rich, newbold choice?
But we'll find out. It'll be exciting for us to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is
Rich is trying to increase his
I've realised
local 5-star rating by making his fences look a little bit better.
No, what I've realised is that I've put it in a place that I can't get a path through.
Oh, okay.
So you've needed to
Which is
rebuild
another
it.
infamous.
But look how quickly he
revolve
could modify
trait.
his park safely. He built an enclosure within the enclosure to make sure those dinosaurs didn't break out when he deleted the other bit.
He's making sure he's on top of it.
Place it
getting
down.
tricky,
Silophyce is trying to get a little bit
Taking on
spicy with the MVU there.
taking on the MVU.
Yeah, David and
So
Goliath.
as you can see, thanks to the Rich's incredible skills as a park manager, we're already at 3 stars.
3
which
and a bit
is
stars, yeah.
Getting us over to the pteranodons. So
Yeah.
we've got 2 eggs available, it looks like.
Yeah, we had some traits on one of them as well, which I think you had done some DNA splicing on.
I didn't have enough genome percentage to do a lot of modification, but I had
just
one.
a few.
that-
Yeah. So apply as scientists, make sure they're incubated safely to maturity. And then these also, from these hatcheries, you can also do the airlift feature as well. So now you don't have to just release them out of that hatchery. You can choose to airlift them somewhere else.
Area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We had a question, I'm going to just go and find it, asking from Orange Soda on Twitch, asking, can Avery's...
Is that a little Kevin and Kel reference there?
It might be, yeah. But so it's, can
Keenan and
Avery's
Kel.
be...
Kevin and Kel.
Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and Kel.
It's all right.
Go
We're going to
on.
hold that against you forever.
Yeah.
Can Avery's be broken out of? So we had a little chat with Amy about this earlier, but yes is the answer.
Yes, they can be.
Absolutely
If
can
they're not
be.
happy inside, they will attempt to break out. And once they've broken out, they will be causing a certain amount of havoc in your park and guests. So yeah, you need to make sure they're looked after, just like the land dinosaurs, just like the marine reptiles. You have to make sure they're happy and they've got all their needs met.
Doing at the moment, Rich?
I'm fixing this minor fracture with my MVU team.
With darts.
With some,
But
with some medicine.
hiding.
it's hiding, and it's
Feels like a nature documentary there,
It is
doesn't
a
it?
little
It's kind
bit,
of,
yeah.
you know.
so tricky. I'm just going to use the medical team.
they can get it done for you.
There we go. They're good enough for me. Right.
There we go.
So we've got our dinosaur clutch building. We're going to
Lagoon's still being built. Takes a while. It's quite a pretty spectacular structure. That's the word I was trying to say.
I mean, of course, you're building a habitat for something as incredible as this.
As you came by just at the right time. Well done, Moser.
It's good old Moser.
So we've got another event here. We also recently, just before then, we saw some contracts as well come up.
Yes.
So on a sort of tick at the end of a month, as it were, at the end of the game month, you have the opportunity to choose contracts which can help boost your money if you can achieve what the contract set out to do. It could be increase your profitability from your amenities. It could be, I think there's things like, releasing new dinosaur species and things like that. So that can give you a bit of a direction in the park as well, an objective to try and achieve, as well as giving you a little extra in the bank balance to spend.
Absolutely.
Should have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
I was trying to make some
restaurant.
more. I was trying to make some more money, but by putting it there, it just wasn't profitable. So I would have just been losing money.
I do want to note that he is constantly active. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of waiting around, at least in challenge mode.
To see where the need for various things are. So down here is where we have high need for restrooms, because we have that one over here, so that's fine. What our guest distribution is, where our different guest types are going.
Yeah.
Depending on, because
again, based on how your park's laid out.
This one is a carnivore, this one's a herbivore, so they're changing, and then our need for different types.
Food, drinks, and souvenirs.
I think it's really great with all of the information we just saw that you can really see exactly what your guests are going to need, and you can see exactly where it needs to be as well, and careful use of all of that information.
Yeah. I think we've seen a couple of screens.
Oh, I'll be quiet. It's incredible.
All living creatures have basic needs.
And there's our first flying reptiles, the pteranodons.
Again, they've got their territory. For those that missed it, dinosaurs now have territories as well, so they build up territories based on what they need from their environment, which you have to make sure they have access to. So they've got full behaviours and territory like land dinosaurs. And again, as you saw here, it wasn't one pteranodon; it was two. Again, with species differentiation, you can release more than one now.
So we just had a couple of questions. Flintlock Engineering saying, "Is that Tim I hear?" It is Tim you hear. That is correct. But also
famous
Satanus, the famous Tim, apparently. Thank you for the new moniker.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But so there was also a question from Saintness over on Twitch. So you can see on camera. Hello, I am Tim Smith, lead community manager working on Jurassic World Evolution 2. To my right, we have Adam Woods, executive producer, also working on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Yeah. So the question from Satanus was, is the game out now or still in development, and that it looks great? So
well, thank you very much.
So much. We couldn't be happier with the reception we've been having this week to the game. The game is out November 9th.
Oh, the rocks.
So not quite yet, but you can pre-order right now. If you like what you see, you can always head to Steam or Xbox or PlayStation to pre-order the game. And this is an in-development build. So as you can see in the top right corner, it's saying development build, and that's because
it's a development build.
It's an in-development build. So this is not the final version. No. That means there may be some small errors and some bugs. However, of course, there will be a final version that will be available on November 9th. And in this version, we have made adjustments to make everything go a lot faster, so we can show you as much of the game as possible during the roughly an hour that we have available to be playing today. So that's why Rich is currently working hard to get the aviaries and the lagoons up and running so we can show you some more of the pteranodons. I can see somebody named one of them Terry already. And
Terry the
Pteranodon.
Terry the Pteranodon.
Absolutely. So yes.
Cheeky. Tim, yeah, of course. Yeah.
There we go.
Brilliant.
Did you...
You should have named him Tall Nuts.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I mean, you've got to call the other one Adam then, surely.
I did. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Adam and Tim.
We're hanging out.
Sitting in a dome, and we're lonely.
Lonely is because
we haven't got Rich
from each other.
We need Rich involved as well.
So the pteranodons have a minimum social. They prefer a social of at least 3 by the looks of it.
There you go. There's 3 of us.
There's 3 of us.
So I have to make another pteranodon.
Again, it's that nuances between species. Some of them are, they're quite. What's the word? opposite to, you know,
Social?
Antisocial?
yeah, they're not antisocial and not lonely when they're happy on their own.
They're happy on
They're
their
solo.
own.
They just wing it on their own.
They wing it
That
on
sort
their
of thing.
own.
Yeah.
I see what
It's
you,
definitely a
I see
technical
what you
term.
did there, because they've got wings. I hear you.
I can't think
hear
of the
you.
word. Solitary. There you go.
Solitary.
Can we all cut that? We're not live, are we? We can cut all that bit out.
Yeah, none of this is
Brilliant,
live on
thanks.
Twitch right now. On YouTube.
Some of them are more solitary and some of them are more social. So you have to balance that with how they're going to go into their enclosures.
I wonder if you really get how Twitch works. But yeah.
I don't.
No, that's okay.
No.
Sorry, that's what I'm here for. I got you back.
Rich needs to be careful of his response team there. We've got a little icon flagging up that there might need to be something.
They're running out of fuel.
Yeah. So the response team now have fuel. You need to provide them with fuel for the helicopter and the cars that are driving.
Why did the response team run out of fuel? Did they fly somewhere? I don't think he shot someone with the helicopter.
The carnivore feeders
he?
and such. And it's the same with the ex-paleo medical facility.
So
just
I'm trying to make a mosasaur, but making dinosaurs is not cheap.
It's not
going to
cheap.
cost us like 2 million to make that dinosaur.
It's
So
all right. We can stay here till we
Oh,
get
I
this
see.
dinosaur
Right.
in.
Yeah.
So
And you're at 400.
I'm doing some cost-cutting exercises.
He's checked the budget.
I've
There's
checked the budget.
there's-
He can't afford the mosasaurus.
Udell, you're out.
I don't,
Merry Christmas.
I don't need that many scientists at the minute, and I would like us to get a mosasaur soon.
It's all right. So
We've also had a breakout.
We've also had a breakout.
So definitely pteranodons can definitely break out.
Now
Someone was
proven out
asking
right.
about whether
I wasn't
you can break
lying.
out of an aviary.
Wasn't lying.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And someone
Can-
was asking, do they just fly away?
Yeah,
And
so
right
you
now,
can see
there's
that.
a
Oh, we
breakout.
didn't see it.
And
Okay.
we are going to send a ranger team to retrieve this dinosaur. So
This is definitely going down at part of the park
Tim
rating.
escaped first by the looks of it.
Come
I'm
on,
outta
Rich.
here. Yeah.
Show
I'm
us
out.
a
You
close-up.
can't-
And I just followed.
stop me.
I don't cause the
Can't stop me.
trouble. I just have to. I sort of go with the flow. You know, I don't want to rock the boat.
Okay.
We just saw a little guest having a little bit of trouble there with one of the pteranodons.
This is
But I'm
fine.
sure Rich will financially recover from this.
yes,
Nice little.
it's all going to be
You can
okay.
see though also they are building up the territory outside the enclosure
Yes,
as
they
well.
will
So the
build the
territory
territory.
isn't just linked to the enclosure. It's
Absolutely.
definitely outside.
So there's a whole world for Tim and Adam the pteranodons.
A whole new world.
A whole new world. And they're exploring it. So this
Yeah.
is now up to Rich to
Just
contain this issue, and that is a classic Jurassic issue that you have.
You haven't got any dev tool magic, have you, Rich?
No.
On this one because it's the final.
this
bit,
is what
isn't it?
happens when you go live. Okay, I thought they were happy. I thought they were happy.
What went wrong?
Okay, so I think
Can I've got another question from, it looks like on YouTube. It's quite a long name. Gryphenosaurus rex, asking, can pterosaur species coexist with each other? So can you have more than one species in an aviary? for
Yes,
example?
certain species will cohabit with each other in a gentle and tranquil way. Yeah.
Yes.
Some
Hopefully.
won't though. Yeah.
Some won't.
Yeah. Depends on who's managing the park, hey Rich?
I don't know where Tim's gone.
I,
That's Tim's there. He's outside the
say you can't stop me.
lagoon. We're both there, we're together.
Yeah,
Hanging out. Are we on?
I don't think you are.
No.
Okay, it's Tim, I'm sorry.
I'm out of here. That's
Um,
it.
What we're going to do is make sure
You
that
didn't
this-
realise the
Oh,
power
I don't know.
that
I
you
mean-
gave this pteranodon by giving it
Where is he gonna drop it in, though?
stoppable.
I think there's quite a nice little irony
Oh.
there that
There's a hatch over the hatchery.
to do is release more pteranodons.
It's so
I think that's like quintessentially what
They-
people
Well,
keep
if
doing
you-
wrong with Jurassic World and Park. It went
Double
wrong. What should we
down.
do? Build another one. It's fine.
just double down.
Yeah, there's someone to say. Everyone in
And
chat,
Helen
you're
is alive
fantastic.
and well.
Someone's saying they're very interested to see when more things go wrong. I mean, that's,
Hey,
that's Jurassic World Evolution
exactly.
too.
You have to deal with these calamities. You know,
much do I
Rich
need?
has
840.
taken his eye off the ball. Perhaps it's a very stressful situation right now. He's got
Yep.
me berating him left, right, and centre. He's also live on Twitch, so you know
He's going to make
he's-
some money. It's
He's
fine.
got a lot of pressure on him, but he's
So,
doing okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we'll
I can
we'll
just
just
try-
keep going
I'm not
for a
doing
bit,
money.
for sure.
I think what we're
I
trying
think-
to do is get to the mosasaur. He's trying to figure out how I think to generate enough
That's
money.
all right. Like we can just carry on for a bit so we can get to that mosasaur.
Perhaps
and
want
the
to
lagoon.
just
contain
sell. How
just
much
what's
do you get back
happening.
from the aviary domes if you sold them? We've seen that. We've seen that now. It's okay.
Yeah, right there. So when you recapture an escaped flying reptile, you drop it in right there into the void. And I'm guessing it has to be re-released through the hatchery.
Can I make any more money out of these?
So he's also now checking. So what we're seeing really is the actual game loops of trying to figure out. Okay, so your park may not be performing as you want it to. How can you better extract some money from the pockets of your guests walking
I'm
around?
so glad I didn't have that nightmare about me worried about not playing in my own game well on stream.
Yeah,
it's fine.
no, it's fine.
Definitely not come to life.
It's absolutely fine.
What? Don't know where Tim went.
I'm a free spirit. You can't stop me.
You're somewhere. Development build. Who knows what's going to go wrong? Okay.
It's omnipresent.
I need, what's that, 840?
So there's lots of information there that Rich can use to help guide him through this, slightly stressful situation of trying to raise some money. The board are knocking at his door. Lots of information there, lots of screens, in all seriousness, that the players can use to find out how to
Quality of the stream is kind of low.
park and tend to guests and dinosaur needs.
I think selling these.
Yeah, he can extract.
Selling some minerals.
That's going to help.
Yeah, so sometimes when you're on digging for the fossils in the ground, your team may find minerals and kind of some treasures such like that, which can be extracted and then sold for actual money rather than DNA. They don't contain DNA.
Okay.
But that can be a nice little hit of money, as Rich has just found out, I think.
So we'll be back on track pretty soon, I reckon.
Still want to spend that money on the Pteranodon, though?
Yes, because Adam, you're lonely, mate.
Okay.
So
we can, I mean, how many?
He looked after me first.
I'm making 2.
Yeah.
I'm making 2 plus you. That's 3.
Yeah.
Power of maths.
Okay. And then they'll be happy, and you can forget about them. Yep.
One day we'll figure out where Tim went.
I seriously don't know how he's ever going to get to the Mosasaurus, because he's gone down in cash. Oh, now we're back to where we started. So all of this Pteranodon nonsense has cost a lot of money.
We can show you as much as possible,
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep going right now until
absolutely.
we get it. I'm excited to see Adam the Pteranodon's new friends. I'm guessing we can keep this theme of guests on the show today, so we can have an Amy and an Andy.
Yeah, maybe one of the
I hope they're better behaved than you two were.
us two.
We're just the force of nature, Rich.
Yeah, well, I mean, So here we go. So how many more? We've got 2 more coming out.
2 more. Oh, I forgot to make them. I forgot to change the cosmetics just so we know
That's
that
all right.
they're
okay.
the nicer ones.
The nicer ones.
So
we've got
Amy, and Andy.
There we
Welcome
go.
to the park.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, Tim is on an adventure.
Meanwhile, Tim, the adventure of Tim. We will never know. Hopefully he'll write a memoir when he's back.
okay.
Yeah,
And
the Pteranodon Chronicles.
the ranger teams can be assigned to the aviaries and the lagoons, so they'll do the same job as they do in your other enclosures, but via the hatcheries. So we use those as the ranger posts. So you can get information about what feeders are being covered by it, what flying reptiles are being covered. So they will. You can ask yourself, how does that ranger team get in there?
How do they get through
How
a
do they
little
get in
slot?
there? So I'll wait for one. Actually,
See how the Ranger team do this. I'm enjoying speculations of where Tim has gone in chat. People are like, what's happened to Tim? Where's Tim gone? Is he gone to Cardiff? Is he?
Maybe there should be like on the forums or something. You could go and do a little
Tim the
thread of
Pteranodon
Tim's
gone?
story, like what happened after this. I'd love to read that.
The the extended story of Tim the Pteranodon's
Tim's adventure,
grand escape from Park Newbold.
Park Newbold.
So when this ranger team only has 1 job now, and that's to go to the hatchery. What's the other one up to? Make sure that you've got. No, you don't need to go to the hatchery. I've got the other. You're going to look at this one.
There you go.
Cool. Right.
We're just waiting for Rich
So
Newbold to
ranger
make
patrol
money.
posts now are items you can place down and then assign a ranger to, and within a area of that post they will.
Pteranodons can fly through steel. It might still get fixed, guys. Let's not worry too much.
Within that area to give you the information you need to then make any informed decisions about their needs and making sure they're nice and happy. The piscivore feeders, which is a horrible word for me to try and say, need an amount of water because they are a container of fish. So you have to live fish, live bait for the pteranodons.
So here's our ranger team.
Yep.
But
there's a
it's
drone.
On the inside. So what we do is
it is our ranger team, but it's on the inside.
The ranger team send out drones, so they visit the hatcheries as part of their patrols. Now the drones go around and they act as their equivalent, and they'll fly around doing your status checks, replenishing your feeders.
Should
doing
we
your
check the?
tranquilizations.
How does a tiny drone replace feeders? How does it? Don't think too hard about it.
That's me. You can normally find me eating. That's one of my favourite pastimes.
Oh.
Well,
so
there
you go. Like
sometimes game development throws up
builds.
interesting things.
So,
and then it all recovers and you're fine.
As we've mentioned earlier, just for those of you who have joined the stream more recently, we are playing an in-development build. There are a couple of bugs, but this is not the final version of the game, and it is one that we have adapted so we can show you more of the game much quicker, so we can still show you. As you can see, we've got Amy, Andy, and Adam, the pteranodons, who are happy. Who are happy.
So here's the contracts I was talking about before as well.
Yes.
So we have the option, if you want to, you don't have to take them on, but you can take them on as an extra bit of a challenge, and then the rewards, monetary rewards as well.
I'm going to use that one because I was worried about that one. I went for that mission because I was worried about adding more dinosaurs to this. I'm worried about spinning any more plates on dinosaurs when I've clearly been doing a terrible job with the ones I've got.
It's not easy. It's I think you're doing a very good job.
I mean,
the Struthiomimus didn't break out at all.
It's true.
So,
it's true.
All the Coelophysis seem to be staying put as well.
Yeah, their territory keeps dynamically changing. So the forest I put down in this part of the enclosure, that they originally started off over here, but because of the water feeder, the waters and the carnivore feeders, they've moved in this direction.
That's actually a really good example of it, because you can see how
it's changed,
how it's built.
Yeah, the forest that was here
on that side there,
is just not working for them. So they'll
it's
come
too
this
far
way.
away from everything else. So they're kind of trying to do
a bit of.
They're prioritising food and water, obviously. So what Rich can do there is, like you say, just paint down some more forest coverage, and then they're happier.
I also prioritise food and water.
The Struthiomimus have a really big territory when you compare it to Coelophysis, and there's like 7 Coelophysis in that exhibit.
People that actually know what Greg's is. Filling up your backup generator as well. That runs on fuel, so we do have the full power station with substations and pylons to really,
there is a full power system you can run there.
But we also have this new way to power your park if you so wish, or to use as a literal backup generator if things start to go wrong.
I would like
what are we researching now?
to have a viewing gallery on my aviary.
Rich,
that's
don't waste money!
And then it's the bottom one on the 3rd row.
But I need 500 guests in my park to get there.
So he's looking at the research tree, as it were, or the tech tree, for a gamified reason. And some of the items you can research need prerequisites of other things being unlocked or known about, and you can work your way through. And you can see all the information on the right-hand side
as to what you need,
as to what will it unlock, and also what you need to do to unlock that. And then you apply your scientists to make sure that they're hard at work.
I'm using a scientist that is cheaper research and one that is faster research. So combined, it will be...
Combined, you're going to get there a lot quicker and a lot cheaper, which is fantastic. But as you can see, Rich has he's bumped up that money. He's at 1.2.
He had a real on his hands, but he stayed cool, stayed calm, and he got it done.
Cool, calm,
just like he is in real life.
I wonder if there's any more...
Steers the ship with a steady hand.
I wonder if there's any more herbivores we can get in.
Captain of the ship.
There's the Amargasaurus. That's my favourite one.
Boo.
So the Struthiomimuses... So our dinosaur species now have likes and dislikes, which kind of are the species they all like.
They're the Dr. Wu hybrids again.
So I'm just checking what our Struthiomimuses likes or dislikes to put in with my... another herbivore just to get our dinosaur appeal up. So I'm going to put in the Nasutoceratops because they'll mix together. And I think they also have the same paleobotany requirements as well.
He can't afford the Mosasaurus Yet it's 2 million, and he's at 1.2.
Saurus, we're working on it.
I'm working
We're,
on
we're,
it.
we're trying.
We
We're
will,
absolutely trying.
we will
but
show you all the Mosasaurus before we finish the stream today.
Yeah.
We just, of course, need to get to a
Everyone at Frontier is working overtime on a Friday because he can't get money in the game.
That's where the fun's had, is in playing the game. In the meantime, if we flip back to having the studio view, you'll be able to see here, if you pay attention, there's our in-studio Mosasaur, who you can enjoy in the meantime. Just swimming in the background there, but she'll be background in a second. And just for anyone else who is there and has joined more recently on the stream, we're currently streaming Jurassic World Evolution 2. This is an in-development build. This is not the final version of the game.
Honestly, this is how I play challenge mode. I lose track of the money and then it's like, oh no, stuff is too expensive now. Oh, I don't know, sarcastically inspired. I thought I saw in a quick shot that it was 2 million, but I'm not actually sure.
Way towards showing a Mosasaur on stream in the game, and the game is not available yet, but will be on November 9th.
And don't forget, we are rating Richard's park. He has his in-game rating, but there is also going to be, at the conclusion of the stream, we're all going to give our...
there's a lot of story in this park right now. Like, there's the wild
I've been
Tim
to
the
a lot.
Pteranodon is out there.
It's been an incredible journey so far.
I need some scientists. Ironically, the scientist that I fired earlier would be very useful right now.
Redundancy's coming back, huh?
Okay.
Well, we're going to continue. And
Who in the chat remembers how much a T-Rex is in the current game? Isn't a T-Rex in the current game like 7 million? I might be misremembering because I usually play Sandbox, so price is not really an issue, but I feel like if that's the case, 2 million for a Mosasaurus is a bargain.
The appeal of the park, which will in turn then generate more profit. So you're spending a bit of money, speculate to accumulate,
spend money to
as
make
the
money.
classic saying goes.
Oh, okay, then I'm just thinking about like a heavily modified. Okay, so it's not as expensive as I thought. Okay, then it's on par.
Old when I'm old.
You're all about the rhymes for the last about 45 seconds.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can keep going.
I can't. Now I'm thinking about it, I won't be able to rhyme.
I need you to keep going.
So here's the here's the custom Avery viewing gallery as well. So it's not just it's not the land viewing gallery. It's a whole new building that gets placed on the side. Oh, Rich.
What is it?
That might be Tim.
That might be Tim.
No.
Okay. So that forum story needs to include.
Okay, so
the
we've
ultimate,
had a conclusion to the
how
saga
did Tim's
of Tim
life end?
Pteranodon.
Yeah, I think that's Tim.
Oh,
So
boy.
what
That's
happened?
fine. I'm okay with
What
that.
happened when Tim left the park, and how did he ultimately find his demise?
Oh man.
Let's see. Look, you see them perching on the
Can
gallery.
we get some memorial in the chat, please? For let's take a moment.
R.I.P. Tim.
Let's take a moment
Take a
for
moment.
Tim the Pteranodon, who was left without support. And
There we go.
Looking good now. Look,
Now we've
1.4
got some
mil.
viewing galleries. We're on the. We're doing it.
So you can see here, we're going to research the marine viewing gallery, which looks very looks a bit
interesting.
familiar, doesn't it?
I appreciate there's a lot of support in the chat for Tim the Pteranodon. There's just lots of Fs and RAPs.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, yeah.
for Tim the
I think he
Pteranodon.
lived his best life when he left
I
the park.
mean, he
though.
lived fast.
He could have stayed in, and that would have been life would have been boring if he stayed in the.
He lives
I mean,
life
he
in the
just-
fast lane.
he
We
just
knew
wanted
that.
to
He
get
broke
out.
out first of all. He lives
Yeah,
life in the
he
fast
was out
lane,
there.
and enjoyed the Canadian wilderness.
Canadian wilderness. That's right.
Here you can see how we going straight back on.
Yeah, we'll get
point.
back into this. We can
You can see the two territories. So we've just released the Nasutoceratops.
Yeah.
They have a different territory space compared to the Struthiomimus that's in this one. It is this one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Struthio's. So you can, when you're looking at it, we still give the player an indication of the other territory because you need to balance the two.
Yes, of
They
course.
might not want to feed off the same paleobotany plants that the Struthios do. So you have to balance it. You can create
a
very
lot of tricky
Yeah.
elements to combine. Because of
Absolutely,
course, if
yeah.
you don't meet the needs of one of them, then you're going to have a lot of
you might have a
issues,
bit of
you
trouble.
might have a breakout.
Exactly.
You might have some poor welfare, and your guests aren't going to want to see that. They
No,
want to see the dinosaurs
being happy,
thriving, being happy and healthy, of course. And we've got to a 4-star rating, so we're doing
very well.
pretty fantastically.
So the other thing to keep in mind is not only
It's kind of silly that this park has a 4-star rating. I'm sorry, Rich. I'm sorry.
so even if you had
I don't think
lots
I
of
agree.
species that can live with each other, they
Yeah.
might not want to live with each other. So the Nuceoceratopses have I think it's like a 45% overlap. So if their territories overlap lots, they're just not going to be happy, regardless of who they're living with. It's a bit like people.
I mean, he has 4 species in the park, right? Nasuto, Struthi, Coelophysis, Pterandon, and he has a 4-star rating? Rigged. It's rigged.
It's a good idea to, when you release your dinosaurs, to actually give them a moment to actually seek things out and then change it. Because if you're a bit too quick, you can end up, not being efficient with how you're changing
I've done
the
exactly
landscapes.
this before. I've tried to prepare
Yeah.
the territory before
Yeah.
they come, knowing that
Yeah.
the Struthiomimus will
Exactly.
want ground leaf and
Yeah.
a bit of water.
Yeah.
I've added it how I thought they would want it,
Yeah.
and then they arrive and they
It might be
decide,
different, yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to go over here, and I'm mad that you didn't add stuff
Exactly.
to this area.
Yeah, they might want to be somewhere else. So sometimes good to let them.
I love how it walks.
When you get a new cat or dog, you
cute.
have to let it settle into your house for a while, and then you
Of
start
course.
hearing it. There we go.
So,
our new Nuceoceratops.
Oh, they changed the constraints of the rating. Okay, that makes sense. That animation is adorable still. I knew that they changed the build specifically for the stream, but I didn't think that meant that they changed the constraints. I was probably reading comments at the time.
This side of the dinosaurs, like obviously the fighting and the hunting is cool, but seeing more of that social behaviour. I think we started it with Jurassic World Evolution, where they became these animals. They're not, they're not. They are dinosaurs, obviously, but they're actually animals that you can sit and watch and kind of get into. And it's just been extended with that. The animation team have done an incredible job at really showing off this personality.
It's incredible watching those moments just happen
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just sort of one will head
Just-
to the other,
yeah.
and they just have these little interactions.
Come on,
whenever
Rich,
they
you
feel
have
like
the
it.
money.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
There's lots of videos have come out since the pre-order announcement on Wednesday.
Yes.
And there's one content guy, I can't remember his name, I think it's on YouTube, who finally got to release his plesiosaur. We still don't know if it's Saurus. Chat will tell me in a minute if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
He finally released it, and he was looking at it, was really happy, and then just from back, the mosasaur came and ate it.
Oh no! I didn't see
And
that
it was
clip yet.
perfectly kind of.
I
It
did
felt
see
like a
that clip,
cutscene.
yeah.
It felt like a
It's-
cutscene, but it's all just it just happened in game, and they're the little bits that I really enjoy.
At this point, they're just teasing us. Come on, guys, I gotta pee. Come on, get that Mosa out.
Actually, it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
So
Fantastic.
I'm almost about to do my mosasaur.
Here we go.
you.
But in
Getting to
meantime,
the
Here we
grand
go.
finale
I've been
of the mosasaur.
I decided to build a power station because I was just tired.
Backups
of,
weren't working for
I was
you.
just, I
Trying
was
to
just
build up.
tired of doing
Yeah.
the backups all the time. I'm just like, so I'm just gonna get some substations in as well.
There we go.
Get some power in there.
Get
That's
some
great.
power.
Feels like he's going real for a real kind of last-ditch attempt to make this park rating
So
As good as it can be.
as good as it
Tim,
can
I
be.
need to prepare you that I think if I release this mosasaur, we might hit 5 stars and the challenge level will finish. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
What a glorious way
What
to
a-
potentially
It's so ironic.
if we get to see it.
So I'm just gonna
Let's try and
get things
tank. What if you were to just accidentally release the rest of the Pteranodons?
what I can do is intentionally sabotage. I think some of the guest ratings.
maybe
It's
if
okay.
you sabotage yourself a little bit,
Of
so we
course.
can see the Mosasaurus would be.
I just wanted
appreciated.
to, when I start doing this, I just wanted to give you all the context for why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because it is a custom.
Because what
it's
you
a
want to
custom
show is
challenge mode.
the delete brush that we now have, where you can delete multiple things
Just
at once.
multiple
and you can,
bursts.
and you
rid
can
of
No,
switch
don't do
things
that.
on and off.
No, don't do that.
Bulk
actually.
demolish.
I'm glad that button's there. It's not.
Demon, there are pre-order bonuses. You get 3 extra vehicle skins.
the stream.
You would think I've been doing this for a while, but no, it's now the point at which.
Well,
I'm
the problem is you were
self-sabotaging.
too efficient. Like you're reaching that 5-star rating, and
Bring you down a bit more.
you're doing too good.
It was normally on previous kind of run throughs of this. Obviously, we've sort of tested it and played it. It's a very much a golden path of
Tom McAvoy, the DPG skins are deluxe. It's the green sort of camo-ish skins. Those are the pre-order ones.
How Rich has built up his parks. That's what it's taken.
DTV Entertainment, that's a mistake. The extra dinosaurs are deluxe, not pre-order. Those are two separate things. Please do not mix those up, folks. That's going to be a shame if you do otherwise.
I'm a fool to myself. I should have just deleted a viewing gallery.
Do it.
Oh yeah.
Delete them.
That would have been the easiest way.
Yeah.
Just can't see them.
Can't see them. That's one of the biggest.
It's like the whole
biggest
whole
appeal.
economy is based
Yeah.
on that, Rich.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're gonna do our best to get you that Mosasaurus.
Here we go.
Everybody in chat.
There we go. Okay, we're
There
now
you
to
go.
2.5.
Okay, so we've tanked our own parks rating.
Okay, so we
We've got-
synthesized it.
We've
Synthesized
got the egg.
it.
We're
I have
ready
the
to
money.
incubate.
Intolerant Mosasaurus.
Yep, it's okay.
Okay.
As we saw with the before you, well, you're gonna incubate anyway. So
No, tell me about.
in the Avery Dome, Rich showed us the drone that the park
Yes.
teams then control instead of actually entering the dome. The lagoons have a very similar thing with an underwater drone that they would then control and perform all the duties that they would normally do on a land-based enclosure. So all the same mechanics and parities there. Just quite interesting seeing this little drone flying around the enclosure or the marine.
We're doing it. We've got.
There we go.
Do I have anyone that's going to make it quicker? No. So I need lots of
Need lots of
welfare.
welfare.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Taking 19% off that, so it went from 3 minutes 20 down to 2 minutes 41.
There was a
Because
suggestion.
he had some traits, and
Ooh, we're
he
gonna
applied
need-
more than he needed in terms of the requisite skill for the scientist.
So we're going to need
Okay.
feeders.
Oh yeah, you got to get the.
There was also a suggestion in the chat.
Oh, but you have to have the mosasaur out first.
Of
Yeah.
course.
From one of our moderators, Osric,
Yeah.
suggesting.
Oh, Osric.
that-
Hi, Osric.
Hey, Osric.
I know you
suggesting
very
that
well.
when we have the Mosasaurus, we could call it Francesca to
Yeah.
in honor of the other person in the room here today.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we have, of course, got the wonderful Francesca helping us with producing the stream today.
Yeah.
So we can't
Francesca wants to go home.
one.
Absolutely.
None have been as legendary as mine, but you know we persevere.
Well, let's see what that story pans out first of all. It might just be that you broke out and hit a tree, and then that was it, and that was a bit of a bad way to go. So
guess we'll never know.
hold the legendary status back until we find out what
Okay.
actually happened to you.
I'm going to use the time controls, new time
Yep.
controls that we've added for Jurassic World Evolution 2 for these moments where you're rapidly trying to get to a mosasaur.
Oh, sure, and
With his
now he
nose
uses
screaming,
the time.
and you're
We're
trying
like,
to get that
"Should we have time
mosasaur out.
controls? What if you
Now he's finally fast forwarding. he remembered a function in the game.
Three, so
Yeah,
two,
there's 3 times
two and
there,
3
yeah.
times. And of course, you can pause the game as well. So if you need to take a moment just to sort of plan, there are
if one of
events
your
in the game.
pteranodons has escaped and you have
There are events in the game that will stop it though. They sort of disable the time controls because it could be quite a powerful tool. So you know we
Yeah.
sort of have to balance the use of those time controls.
we don't want a calamity or a storm to come in and for
Yeah,
it to
absolutely.
cause too much damage to you
Yeah.
whilst you're at 3 speeds.
Yeah, yeah. If it's something just went through at 3 speed and you didn't know what was going on.
Suddenly, yeah.
Here we go.
Here we are. Should we go to full screen? Here comes the Mosasaur.
It's a really
go.
creepy animation. I really like it.
Here she is.
There she is. Yeah. What a fantastic
Yes,
creature.
Incredible. Should we get that rename in now?
There we go.
Here we go.
Welcome to the club, Fran. So now we've released it, we need to make sure we can feed it.
Yes.
And I mean, surely there's only one feeder to place down, Rich, isn't there?
There is. I wanna
Once
go
you can get it
research
researched. Oh, you have to research that one.
need to
yeah. You have
research.
to do that one and
I
then.
think I have to do the next
Just
one.
It's not a very big lagoon that he put it in. That's kind of surprising, actually. But I didn't see if it was happy with the amount of space. I have the Gaming Beaver video on autoplay.
Baryonyx.
Yeah.
And then you have these lagoon feeders, one which is kind of like a shoal of fish that get released to the side of the pool for some sort of shoaly things. And
Shoaly
of course,
things.
the one that we're shoaly things.
We're
Again,
all about the
like I say,
technical terms.
absolute resident dino expert. Lots of people come and ask me for all the technical terms.
They do.
Got a bit tiring of being so scientifically correct, but I got through it.
Shoaly things.
And then of course there's the actual
that
feeder,
not
which
in there?
which we all know we want to place down and have a look at.
So, irony.
Is now you need to probably increase your park rate.
I need to get my park rate back up to 3 stars. So I'm just going to put this viewing gallery back in. I'm going to delete some fencing. There we go.
Okay.
Spino confirmed. Did we see a Spino somewhere? Mystery person in the UI?
Where is she?
You can see very quickly there as Rich entered here, it's building up its territory as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's going to be this territory space for the Mosasaurus as well.
Yep. Here we go.
So I think we'll make sure we get to the feeding in. Yeah. So for those who have just joined, we have now built up the legendary Newbold Park, featuring
It's not that legendary.
Legendary Newbold Park featuring an aviary with a very happy group of pteranodons whose names all begin with A. And of course, a lagoon with a very soon-to-be very happy Mosasaurus.
Thanks,
And
mystery
the guests
person.
are
That's
probably
definitely
happy
something
too.
I'm
So
going
I'd
to
say
add to
we're having a
tomorrow's
very
news
successful park
updates.
here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Rich has dealt with some calamities along the way. We had the pteranodons fancied a little excursion around the park, so they broke out of the domes, but he managed to get them back under control and get them back in and kind of cover up the damage and get his safety rating back.
Yes. And then Rich has almost been doing too well and had to self-sabotage.
He then had to self-sabotage, and then he had to undo all of that. And
Went too far.
Yeah. So we're just waiting to get your park rating up at this point, so you can research the shark feeder. And of course, you can see what we with the lagoon viewing gallery. You can also take.
Of course, we knew, quote-unquote, that the Spino was going to be in, but I'm keeping a list of all of the dinosaurs that are confirmed for my weekly news updates, which come every Saturday. So for that, it's just important. You know, you should never assume.
And then the view obviously changes to showing you the
that is
Mosasaur
so cool.
from
there's
this
an
view.
Mosasaur just in the depths there.
It's like she knew we'd come down. She's like, I'm just going to go over that way.
This is very familiar to what we have in the studio as well. Every time I look is when she won't come by, and every time I look away is where the Mosa swims by.
Okay.
So I think we're just trying to get to 2.8 stars, is it?
I'm at 3 stars. I'm
3 stars? You're at 3 stars now. Oh, you need to get to 3 stars.
Yeah, I need 3 stars
Back
to get
up
the
to
shark
3 stars.
feeder.
Put the hotel back where it was.
Yep. It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing fine. There we go. Now I can do
There we
it.
go. Shark. The marine shark feeder.
All of the scientists on it.
Cheaper research.
Yep, so as we've said before, some of the scientists have traits that you can then utilise across the different tasks. Any scientist is going to be applied to any task. It's just if you've got the right, exactly. Yeah,
so you take scientists who are more proficient in structural biology. You maybe don't want to put them for the chemistry side.
No, exactly.
They'll probably be able to do a bit.
I was thinking the same thing, Tim. Structural biology and the other thing that you said.
This is the kind of conversations we have at lunch here at Frontier. Is the different worlds of science which we want to approach. Of course, there's biochemical, structural biology. You've
the other one.
The other one?
Yeah.
Which
the one you were about to... That's the one, the physics one, yeah.
You've also got experimental physics, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So what are we putting down here?
I'm going to
put the souvenir... Oh, is that...
I'm putting my food back down.
Food back down.
Yeah, so we can get that star rating up so we can show you all.
Yeah.
Giving the Mosasaurus a decent meal.
Yeah.
And steaks, of course, for the guests.
Just FYI, you
with
don't
an ice cream
actually
machine.
do that.
It's
Who doesn't love his ice cream machine?
It's a food amenity that will sell steaks, lovely fountain, and an ice cream machine for after you finish your steak.
Yeah. And what those internal modules do is make it more. It serves the interests of the guests that are near that park. So there's 4 guest interests: standard. I can't remember the other 3. Which help me out. Standard, luxury, nature,
adventure.
and adventure. And depending on how you've built your park, will attract different one of those different demographics, or maybe more than one. And then you can update your amenities to better serve that interest.
I love that we're finally getting this in our game. We've been
Anyone else?
waiting
I
3 years.
was going to say delete those.
Whilst
Yeah.
you finish setting this up, there was a message as well from Eagles Pro saying, thanks for doing this, guys. It's really helped me understand how the new features work. And you're very welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming and watching.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Otherwise, it would be us three playing our game.
I
to
mean,
know
which
what-
is always a great
which
time
would
to
be
be
great.
fair.
Yeah, it would be
When
fun.
we do that, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
We're
now we play
waiting
away.
with,
Now we
with
wait.
bated breath.
If anyone has rated my park and wishes to
Yes,
submit
well-
it,
I suppose, yeah, maybe we
I'll
should.
ask,
Should
I'll
we?
ask.
We'll
So,
get
Chaz,
that.
Can
Please
we?
don't.
Can you, out of 5, either do literally just the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? If you pop that in the chat right now for your rating for Park Newbold, while we wait for the Mosasaur.
And what would what would
to
your
come for the shark.
rating be, Tim?
she gone?
I'm gonna probably, considering that my namesake has just been abandoned, I'm gonna say a 1.
A 1.
My namesake
she's
was
officially,
abandoned.
And you think that was a direct
it
correlation
was
to
an attack.
how Rich has managed and laid out the park?
Oh, there's a lot of numbers. 5s.
That's a good
fives.
number.
There was a 6 out of 5, a 10.
That's
People rating the
more
park
than-
minus
Okay,
If-
I
5.
think
if
it's
it goes-
averaging
isn't
out
that-
at about
Minus
4. There's a
7.
lot of 3s. And
I think
there's-
I'll take that. That's a good.
Oh, there's a -2. 5 gold blooms.
5 gold. There you go. That's the
4
winner.
Timmies.
4 Timmies.
He did his
Would have been
best,
5
guys. Come
if
on.
you hadn't let Tim.
I thought
have
I'd
a
get
horrible
5.
demise.
That did hit you. The public rating went right
Yeah.
down there, I think.
Someone said if I had to be honest, 6.5.
Wow.
Someone rated 1, and then someone else rated 100. So I think out of 5, we're probably looking at more around 4. I think is
Okay.
where we're settling.
That's a good average.
Yeah.
I was going to give it a good. I was going to give it a 4.8. I was going to.
4.8.
Yeah.
Out of 5.
Yeah.
Out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
The fences were the point too. I had to deduct some of those sharp
This
right angles.
Mosa
See a
just
tail over
won't
there.
The strong.
It's a
Maybe she's
design,
coming
like
this
they
way.
chose the design choice.
This dog
It's,
won't hunt.
It's for his aesthetic.
It's very the aesthetic. I would know by that sharp pointy fence that was in a New Bold park, but
The lack
it's
of
a 4.8,
curvature.
I'd say. What would you say, Tim? Oh, you gave it a 1, didn't you?
Yeah,
I was
because
gonna
of
say.
leaving Tim to his demise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she fed on those fish already, didn't she?
Yeah, she's.
Where is she actually hungry?
If we remove the other feeders,
I did, and then she started getting uncomfortable, and I got a bit worried about her. But
we're
Well,
just
also because-
this is the stream now.
because of the way
We've come so
The-
far. I don't
Yeah.
want to.
they have the food and their hunger need, their food and
Hundi.
hunger needs, is that we have to kind of wait for her to.
She's not a
There
performing
we go.
monkey. She,
I think she's
Oh.
coming.
oh, is this
she might be a performing monkey if you hang
Might
a
be-
shark over the top of her. I suppose.
might be the moment?
Of course, we've already seen this if you've
No.
seen
No.
the Game Beavers
Silence
video, but
falls
it's
over
so,
the
so
studio.
good.
It's like the
Can never
tease.
get enough of this.
Have to let nature.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
I can't believe I almost spoke over it as well.
Almost.
You have to let nature take its course, and it did. Well done.
Did.
There you go.
Incredible.
There was no sound with it. That was a little weird.
Incredible. So I think we should probably call it there for today.
Okay.
Frontier's ready to go home.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me
Adam.
on. It's been an
And
absolute
also
pleasure.
Rich, who I'm gesturing at, but of course you cannot see. But so I just want to say thank you very much to all of our wonderful guests. We've seen a whole bunch of the game. As always, we've come together to talk about what has been revealed during this month. You can pre-order Jurassic World Evolution 2 right now on Steam, on PlayStation, and on Xbox. And the game is coming out on November 9th. So once more, I just want to say thanks to a few other people. We've obviously got all of our wonderful guests. There's Adam, there's Rich, there was Amy, and there was Andy, who were wonderful today on the stream. We've also got Francesca, who has been doing an incredible job of running this entire stream in the background for everybody. And then I've seen a bunch of the mods at home as well.
Yes, let's thank Frontier for their service. They pushed through even with all of the mic quality issues, and I do appreciate actually that they went over a lot longer than they were planning to, just because they wanted to show the Mosa in their stream. They didn't have to do that, but they stuck with it, so I really appreciate that, and I think the game is looking really, really great. I am super excited, and of course I want to thank every one of you for being here, for keeping me company, for sharing in this hype. I'm gonna do that just because otherwise we're gonna be watching a Gaming Beaver video, which I love, by the way. So I want to thank you all for being here and for commenting in the chat. Let's end the poll. But the results are pretty clear. If you didn't know, they just said it. The pre-order is available right now and the game is coming out on November 9th. Let's see, 52% have already pre-ordered or will pre-order. 33% of people are waiting to see more first, which is totally fair. And 14% say I won't pre-order. Again, also totally fair. Those people are probably just waiting to see the first game reviews coming out. I want to thank the moderators for being here. So that's Leviathan, Pope Omar Sisto, and Moosh Gamer was here for a little bit as well. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank you for 882 likes. That is insane. This was the busiest live stream ever. I do hope that a lot of you guys will be joining tomorrow's live stream as well. We're going to be going over a lot of news. We're going to be picking everything apart, analyzing, speculating, discussing, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I hope. I think so. If you guys are there, it's going to be fun. I want to thank Sweshi for the amazing, incredible, insane super chat. Yeah, I think insane sums it all up. And I'm going to leave it right now and go pee. I'm sure you guys have places to be as well. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing. You definitely should. Thank you. And until next time, enjoy the anticipation.